Yo, yo, what up? What's going on, everybody? Jason, Shannon, Big Wayne, Mr. Bullshitter. What's going on, yo? What's up? You hear me okay? I switched the mic, so I'm not sure. What's going on, cuzzo? My man in the building. Lazy Saturday. Thank you, Shannon. Having a lazy Saturday, man. Fooling around with guns a little bit, you know. Watching some movies. Went out earlier, do a little shopping. Just chilling, enjoying the weekend. Yep, enjoying the weekend, man. Holding it down. What up, G Style? Finding I was finding new and trying to find innovative uh, cooking ideas. You know, keeping it together. It's expensive to eat healthy. Man, I was trying to decide what I'm gonna get next. I got my eye on two things in particular. And the funny thing is, I really want them, but I don't want to pay for them, but I really want them. So. Yeah, you know it's not on purpose, Mr. Bullshit. So everybody have to be on medications and all the type of shit. And they don't want you to. If I want to just eat a bunch of bull, it'd be easy, real easy. If I want to just eat a bunch of bull, gotta go out and find fish and olive oil. I mean, olive oil like buying gas, man. Actually more expensive. It's crazy, man. I was eating avocados today. It didn't bother me. That's kind of weird. Which is good. Yeah, that was good. Eating avocado. That was a good thing. I can throw that in there. Big so, what up, man? But everything is pushing along like it's supposed to. Get that light one on the way in, y'all. See if we can get the album out of here. See who's gonna come in tonight. A3G, what up, yo? Chilling tonight, man. You know, chilling on Saturday. It's yes, it is. She style. It is expensive, but I'm gonna go. I've been buying the small bottles. I'm gonna go buy the big bottle from big Costco bottles, man. It's expensive, but it's gonna be like $50, which is kind of crazy. And it ain't like I'm buying like 5 gallons. But it's good to keep around, man. I have some healthy fats. Good for the old ticker. Keep me where I need to be. If I can make my own, I would. Avocado oil too. That's good too, but it's expensive too. Yep, it's expensive. What? Save some money if you go shop at Aldi. That's a fact. That's a big fact. It was a cheap day mix up. Here's the point. I tell you, I can I can eat the toppings. I can eat the cheese and the pepperoni and all that stuff, but I just can't eat the crust, man. Yeah, you do. You need that big Zo money to be able to buy some avocado, an avocado oil. Oh yeah, G style. I know. You need to get cold pressed extra virgin. Doesn't have as much of a high smoking point, but what I need it for is great because I'm not deep frying it or anything like that. So, what up, Biggs? What's going on, man? Funny thing is, avocados they do something funny when I eat it, but I need to get some different type of healthy fats in. So I was fooling around with guacamole today. It didn't bother me. So I'm like, no, maybe I had some one off or something. I just sort of stay away from it. I was eating it today and it wasn't doing anything to me. So I keep getting it in there. It's a good healthy fat to have. So it's not it ain't I mean it's all right. It don't got a lot of flavor to it. And that's why I like it in the guac. And the guac has got a lot of flavor to it. Just by itself, I don't know if I want to eat it. But you can put it on stuff. You can put it with eggs and fish and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what Big Zo been getting at the salmon. Today I worked with some cod. I don't like tilapia. Salmon was good though, and the cod was good too. Cod and asparagus. That's what was for dinner. It's good. Yep, it was real good. Yeah, I don't mess with tilapia. I never like it. You go to the fish market, don't find me something else. At least some catfish. That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be real good. Yeah, but we're gonna make it to the range tomorrow for sure. I test out my new gun. Then I rebuilt gun. I want to go test that out. See how that's going. I want to go. I think I'm gonna go take the muzzle brake off my 308 and shoot a suppress. I haven't shot a suppressed yet. No, not to fool around with the gas and everything, but still, I need to go do that. You know, always in the hunt for the next thing. Now that I'm sort of settling in, I'm gonna go ahead and gotta kick it back in the overdrive. I've been cool since June, really. I haven't really been doing a lot with that. Perch, all right, big. I'll try that too. Try me some perch. The arugula was good, man. I like that. Throw that in there. Use tilapia trout farms. They never feed them. Really? Oh man, I don't want no damn tilapia. So it's literally a shitty fish. Literally. Yeah, I won't eat that, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I won't eat that. That's nasty. Yep, that's nasty. This is a trip, man. The most tiring thing about doing this whole thing is having to cook all the damn time. It's really annoying. Really annoying, man. But I will say, if you guys are doing the keto thing like I'm doing, what you need to do is try this stuff called Keto Chow. Delicious. It's a good meal replacement supplement. Hey, I'm actually gonna take some and make ice cream out of it. That's how it tastes. I'm gonna make me some ice cream out of it. They serve that at gourmet restaurants. Man, nah. I don't eat no shitty fish. Yeah, it's called Keto Chow. That's what it's called. Look it up, Big Zo. Seriously, look it up. Some dude created the recipe. I don't know how many years ago. I think it might have been like 2010 or something. And he put it out on the internet so anybody can use it. But people were like, "Listen, why don't you just make it and I just buy it from you instead of me making it?" That's what he did. He started a company. It's real good too. Wait, good food. That's right. That's when you pick it up. It is a pain to cook every meal. It is a pain in the ass, man. Come along with me, be a carnivore. Well, that's what I'm doing basically. J3J, I'm a carnivore, man. I ain't eating nothing but lean meats, mostly lean meats. You eat chicken wings and stuff. It's kind of lean. Lean meats and vegetables. That's it. And I throw a little bit of berries in there from time to time. That's it. Some cheese. Jesus. You can eat that. There's no carbs. Basically, all I'm doing is killing the carbs. And it's working. Eggs, throw that in there. I can eat as many eggs as I want. It's working, man. As of today, I'm down 41 pounds. My start date is June 8th. I start from that day. I started before then, but that was my highest weight I can remember when I went to the doctor. I ain't had no collard greens yet, big O. The funny thing is about the greens, you would think that the greens would be really good for they kind of look, but they have a lot of carbs, more than I thought that they did. So I sort of, because I'm trying to stick to, I'm not changing anything until I hit the 50-pound mark. Once I get down like 52 pounds down, then I'm gonna like add something. I might add some different type of greens and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, man, 41 down. I'm happy about that. When I hit that 50, I'll be happy, man. That's my goal. I'm happy with the 41, but my goal right now, my short-term goal is 50. That'll put me halfway where I'm trying to get to. That'll put me halfway there. Then let's see if the other 50. The other 50, we're gonna try to work that off. We already thank you, Dick. Thank you, bullshit. We already got the food part of it. That's 80% of it. Working out and stuff, that's the other 20%. So I throw that in there, I think stuff will start dropping off. Only eat meat, eggs, heavy cream, I'm down. That's what I'm doing. So it sounds like you're doing the same thing I'm doing, bro. I eat meat, eggs, heavy cream. You can have heavy cream. You at 105? All right. Yeah, I'm coming, man. Listen, I gotta get down. I need to lose 115. So I'm down almost 50. So I'm getting there. Yeah, man. Listen, love that, man. But yeah, that works. That whole keto thing works. It seems to really work really well. And they got me on the shot, so I don't be feeling the hungry all the time. The digestion and everything is real slow. I'm good. Yo, Biggs, man, I think yesterday was the lowest reading that I had since I've been taking my blood sugar. It was 93 yesterday. After a meal. 2 hours after a meal was 93. And tonight, after dinner, it was 103. So I'm doing really well, man. I'm gonna do my fasting in the morning. I haven't done a fasting one in a while. I want to see what that does. No, I'm not on Ozempic. No. What up, Integrity? No, not Ozempic. Ozempic is a something else. I'm on a trip to whatever. It's different than Ozempic. No, not Jardians. I'm on Monjaro. Thank you, Integrity. Yeah, I'm on Monjaro. And that seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. I know the diet is helping too, but that helps control it. Because if you gets you out of control, yeah, my cholesterol. What up, JK? My cholesterol was 130, bro. I took my blood work yesterday because I got a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. And yo, my cholesterol was 100. Yo, I can't remember when my cholesterol was ever 130. Ever. That's kind of weird. Yep. I can't believe it. I looked at the. I couldn't. I thought something was wrong with it. Yep. I thought something was wrong. My good cholesterol is a little low, but my bad cholesterol is good. So that's why I'm trying to add some more healthy fats. Because you can't drink olive oil and you can't put the avocado and stuff. I'm trying to add some more healthy fats. Because I want to get my good cholesterol up. Yeah, my LDL looking good, Big Zo. Looking real good, man. Looking real good. And it was high. The doctor was like, yeah, we gotta get that down. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. My total cholesterol was 130. That's ridiculous. That's freaking ridiculous. I mean, I like it. I'm happy about it, but that's crazy. Yeah, that's what my blood pressure is doing. I can't find my blood pressure thing, so I'm guessing that's it got to be doing good too. I've been sleeping better, all type of stuff. I started taking the stuff to control my glucose, and now I know why. I realize now why I was pissing so much because my fucking it was too high. That's not happening anymore. It seems to be working. I'm glad about that. I want to hit my goal so that I can be in time so I can I want to get my knee surgery before the meetup, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. Yeah, gotta have a good night's sleep, man. And I'm funny about sleeping. When I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm usually up doing something or looking at something. Gotta make myself go to sleep. I got a lot more energy, man. I switched from the whole carb thing to the burning the fat thing. They changed my energy level too. Changed it a lot. I mean, I got a whole lot of fat to burn off, so my body must be loving it. Blood pressure is good until I go to the doctor. Right. My GG. What up, bro? Yeah, so I'm gonna go have them check that and see what that's all about. See how that's working. But yeah, I'm happy with the cholesterol. That means my heart is not taking a beating. I don't think that my blood pressure is doing bad. I hope not. I haven't been having anything going on, so body seems to be doing all right. Oh, you took a nap today? Yeah, man, listen, man, I was taking a nap every day after work. Now it seems like I don't have to do that anymore. My energy level changed. And the thing is, I like taking a nap. It's usually my time to wind down after work. That's my time to just decompress, yeah. So that's what we are this week. I gotta start writing this down. I got my tracker, but I want to have some posted. So y'all help me keep track too. As of today, we have 414. 414. I just weighed myself before I got on the live. So we have 414 today. So let's see how many pounds we can drop in the next 2 weeks. What's today's date? 16th. So we'll be back. We'll do this again on the 30th. So let's see what we can do by the 30th. Let's see how many pounds we can get off by the 30th. You know that's all subjective too, because it could be how much water I'm drinking. It could be you need to take a piss, all type of stuff. Please into that, but still. We'll see what we beat on the 30th. I want to get another 5 pounds, maybe another 5, 6 pounds. All right, Big Zo. Yeah, let's see. If I can get down, lose another 9 pounds by then, that'd be great. But I don't know if that's healthy, healthy or not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's healthy. J3 sorted out, man. I started out at 455, bro, on June the 8th. 455 was when I started, and I was started getting serious about this. And now I'm at 414. That's where I started too. Congrats on that 105, man. Man, what up, Ribbit? Yeah, so that's we gonna get that now, man. When we get down to four, I'm like, oh shit. Yep. That's what I'm like, yeah, man. My goal is I don't my goal honestly, if I had like a where I don't want to go below, is like 315. That's why I don't want to go below. I don't want to get to be really small. Small. I don't want to do that. I've never wanted to do that. Now if I can bulk up a bit, when I start, adding some strength training and weight training and stuff, that's fine. But that's gonna add a little weight to that, will make my weight fluctuate too. But yeah, I don't want to be 250. Nah. Three would be the lowest, but 315 is kind of where I want to stop. So, Chris, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah, y'all go check out right now. There's an auction going on for Tony Simon. I don't know if you know who he is, but I know Tony Simon. I've known him about him for years, and he was out of New Jersey. Two ways for everyone. If I got that wrong, Chris, tell me, make sure I get the name right. He's like it's about bringing everybody into the 2A community. He travels all over the country and he does stuff like that. That stuff is expensive. They're doing an auction right now for some trading cards, some gun tuber trading cards. So and that money is supposed to go help with that cause. So y'all go check that out. Chris from the 740 has it on his website. So y'all go check out his website. And at the top, so click on it. It's an eBay auction. I'm getting in on it. I'm just waiting to the end. I had Alexa set an alarm for me. So I'm gonna catch it right at the end because I actually plan on winning. So I'm gonna catch it right at the end. I wouldn't mind having that. It's only one of 15, I think he said, so I wouldn't mind having it. He's a good dude, man. I've been following him for quite a while. Before I started YouTube, when I was only on Facebook, I've been following him for quite a while. And I met him a couple times. He's a nice guy. You know, pound for pound, the largest gun bunny in the industry. And I didn't believe that until I met him. He's funny. He's a funny dude. Yeah, y'all check that auction out. I think that's a good cause. I'm gonna get it on myself too. So I checked earlier. The last time I looked, I think it was at $26. I don't know what it is now. Yep, it was at $26 last time. It might be bad. Yeah, I'll find it. But yeah, he out there spreading the 2A gospel, man. That's always good. Getting people in the fire. Helping kids. Yeah, man. That's what ends up happening. So I've been on this type of thing before, and I kind of went crazy buying a bunch of different stuff. But I got a bunch of stuff now that I can fit better. And I went crazy after when I lost all the weight before. I was just getting stuff just for the hell of it, just because I could. I had to stop doing that. You know, let's see where it gets by the second. That's why I set my alarm for. It's a worthy cause for sure. And if I can't get the cards, I'll hit him up, see what his Cash App is, or his Zelle or something. Just make a donation. He do be all around. He does. He does do classes all the time and everything. That's a real good thing. I know he reach a lot of people that way. Yeah, but I think it's worth it. What's going on in the world, yo? What's going on in the world you want to talk about? There's a whole lot of crazy shit going on. Crazy stuff, man. Yep, craziness. I was a different type of person. I won't want to go out. Nah, man. If you get into the 200s, man, listen. This ain't a bad thing. I don't want to be there. Yeah, JK, shit going really nuts. Jimmy Walker, what up, man? Taking over DC. I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to do that in other places too. Pretty sure of it. I got my own thoughts behind that. I know what that's all about. I don't see him sending troops into Memphis. Memphis is buck wild. I don't see him doing that. But it's in a state that's favorable to his ideology. So that's a whole other conversation. Big Zo, you wanna come up here tonight and co-host with me? Or anybody if they want to come on, they can. We went through it in the 90s in New Orleans. Okay, Jimmy. Yeah, man, I'm like, yo, man, it's under it's false pretenses, man. But it's all the other stuff that's behind it too. You send all the troops into Chocolate City, and then now you having these what do they call them? These evaluations of everything that's in the Smithsonian. He's evaluating so that it meets up to whatever his ideology is. It's bullshit. I know, dress. I'm gonna drop it right now, Big Zo. Yeah, it's bullshit what's going on, man. There is a clear sort of, I don't know what you want to call it, to change history. And I watched the lady say something. I actually watched two guys try to defend this bullshit. And the reason was that you don't want to walk into a museum and all you see is a negative things about something or about one group of people. But I'm gonna tell you something. If that's part of history and this group of people were the ones that were the oppressor, what the fuck are you supposed to do? You're supposed to tell the truth. You're supposed to lie about the shit. You don't change history because this one might be upset about it. That's bullshit. That's what that is. That's it's a literal whitewashing of history. Because there are other states that do that. Like being like slavery was good and shit like that. Like they were indentured servants or they were, all type of bullshit like that. First of all, I ain't never seen no shit like this in my years. I'm only 51, so I sort of came through the ebbs and flows of things changing, sort of. It seems like they're trying to go backwards. Yeah, Big Zo, you think they come through? You don't want negative history. Exactly, Mr. Bullshitter. That's what they were saying. Like, you walk into the museums and it only talks about one group of people oppressing and how slavery has been going on for centuries and other people have done it. I don't give a fuck what they did there. It's about what happened here to a group of people in this country. And they were actually trying to defend that bullshit. See, I don't get that. It's part of the history of the country. And you want to take it out because people snowflakes and they don't want to feel bad about it. The fuck? If your grandfather, great grandfather was a piece of shit, great grandmother, great grandfather, well, they were pieces of shit, that's on them. They did some bullshit, that's on them. If my people do some bullshit, it's on them. But you want to just change history. And that's why this stuff gets touchy, man, because everybody's not like that. And I know, what up, Charles Henry? And I know everybody's not like that. But when I start hearing prominent voices talk a bunch of shit. Like, nah, man. Right is right and wrong is wrong. It is. That's just that. And if you did some shit, then you did some shit. That's just how it is, man. They want to remove it and take it out so people don't feel this way. It is literally a black and white thing. It literally is. There's no other anything to say about it. Because people say, no, you can make it racial. It is. It's 100% racial. 100%. There we go. There you go, Big Zo. There you go, Zo. You weren't coming in before.
Yeah. Something actually happened with my system and stuff. I have a firewall appliance, and sometimes it'll block StreamYard.
Right. I agree with you, Charles. 100%. That's what that's all about. Even if because my thing always is this: if we got different politics, that's fine. Because we can agree to disagree. It's not a problem. We can agree to disagree. I don't got to agree with this policy. I don't agree with that. Like I say, I agree with politics from all different sides. I don't have a favorite party.
But you're an independent, huh?
Right, I'm an independent. But when I see something that's a clear attack on history and changing and removing, accomplishments that have been done by one specific group of people, and I know if Tank was here, Tank would be like, Tank don't like that because he think you shouldn't point it out. But I believe that it's an attack. It's to change and make things a certain way because you want to see people a certain way. I heard that dude, FDT, I guess we'll call I guess, DT, but I call him by his name. I heard Donald Trump say this out of his mouth, how they're going to have to basically do something about the deportations, like deporting the farm workers and stuff like that. Because he said this, the urban people won't do those jobs. What the fuck do you think he's talking about when he say that? He ain't talking about somebody sitting in the suburbs in Tennessee, or he's talking about black folks living in urban communities. Because we won't do those jobs, or those people won't do those jobs. That lets you know what he think about people. Black people in particular. He said that. I heard that shit come out of his mouth. And I don't care if it's some MAGA nut out here listening or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Don't tell me that ain't what he meant. That's what the fuck he meant. He said that shit with his chest. But that's what ends up happening, Big Zo. As soon as you say something, all of a sudden, oh no, that ain't yeah, fuck all that. Everything he has tried to do and has done. So everything that comes out of his mouth, he means. When he's lying, you know how you know he's lying? Because he's breathing, he's talking. That's how. Yeah, exactly. Give us the farmland back that you stole. Then maybe we'll do something with it and work on the shit. But other than that, nah. Brothers in the hood, sisters in the hood ain't going to work. But nah, forget all that bullshit.
Man, I tell you what, Bo. Hey, you gonna lose about 5 pounds talking like this. You gonna make your 50.
All I know is if Pedro and Martina want to go work in the fields, let them.
Yeah, but the thing I think that happens is a lot of migrant farm workers, they were up there, they were against all of that as well. They wanted the people to get deported as well. A lot of the migrant farm workers.
Some of them did. I know that. Some of them did.
Yeah, because what happens is no matter how much money somebody makes, if they can, anytime somebody can get something done for cheaper, then that's going to push those other people out of a job.
Right. I mean, and that's, you want to know something? That's the thing too. I don't think you should be able to use them for slave wages.
But it's all voluntary. And the other thing too is they, the migrant farm workers, they do pay taxes.
I know they do. That's the thing. I know they pay taxes. They can't benefit from the stuff. A lot of if you're illegal, but they do pay it.
But the ironic thing is these people, you're paying people to pick stuff that they can't afford to go and buy in the store.
And you want to know something? I think that there's a way to deal with that.
Right.
I don't think that he shouldn't be any slave labor. I shouldn't be working 12, 15 hours a day for $4 or $5 an hour. Nah. And that's why stuff is all messed up. And farmers are complaining. They're like, we don't got no workforce. Because
no. Oh no, I think the farmers have the workforce. What happens is that the farmers are being forced to pay the migrant workers the money instead of paying the illegals the money,
and
which,
that's
is more money out of their pockets.
Right. Which all that does is it makes us pay more. That's all
That's
that
right.
does. It makes us pay more. So we can't hire illegals and keep our business because we go to jail. Yeah, Jimmy, I know that. That's for certain people. But I'm watching these farmers complaining and talking to. I mean, because but a lot of times for me, this is what they voted for. You're getting what you voted for.
Yeah, well, the other thing too is that that's right. That's right. And then all you really need is just to have 1 year where you have a really bad crop yield.
That's right.
And then after that, that just kind of compounds everything, But I think there's a lot of places where there's a lot of markup on the products and stuff. Like if you're picking apples and oranges and stuff, because oranges kind of stay in a grove and you don't have to replant them every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what you wind up doing is you go back to the same tree, pick some more oranges off it or pick some more apples off it. But it's not like corn where you have to plow it down and plant some more next year.
What up, Q? Strap House in the building. What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Big
Patrick Irie, rude boy.
The whole illegal immigrant thing. I don't know. Sometimes I care about it, sometimes I don't. Just to be honest.
I think it's a complicated situation.
It is.
And for every time you kind of stand on one thing, then that lets something else go.
Right. And then I don't like the way that they're doing this either. Because if I'm a guy who's here and the government knows I'm here and I have a particular status and I'm going to my court dates, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I don't care if the judge keeps postponing it for 5 years. I don't give a damn. I'm here. I'm not committing crimes. I'm working. I'm taking care of my family. I'm paying taxes into the system, even though I can't benefit from anything. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, some mass dude's going to jump out of nowhere when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And you're going to jump on me. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to.
That's right.
I don't like. That's what I don't like. If you go
yeah. And the thing is I don't think anybody likes that. But the other thing that happens is that there are a fair amount of people who are just not showing up and doing all kinds of other things or whatever. And they don't have any way of knowing one way or the other. They don't have any way of knowing. I mean, I'm more apolitical than anything because, I mean, I kind of get my citizenship through birthright and 14th Amendment and everything else. Right. So, but the thing that happens is I think there's a lot of people, whereas this immigration thing, I think what happens is they have to do some things in order to get everything under control before they can start trying to make some policies that's going to help people who are trying to get in this country and stay in this country, legally and stuff.
Yeah, but here's the thing right now. If you're black and brown, they don't want you to come to this country legally right now. That's a fact. Because all they talk about, whenever you watch any of the talking heads, any of the politicians who are MAGA nuts, all they talk about, any Republican, is brown people, immigration problems, brown people. There are plenty of European, white folk, illegal immigrants here who never went back. They overstayed their welcome.
That's right.
And they still here, but you never hear them talk about them ever.
That's exactly right. And there's a fair amount of Chinese as well.
What up, Mr. Dixon? That's right, a fair amount of Chinese. You never hear them talk about them. They only talk about brown folk and black folk. That's it.
Yeah, but you figure like this: most of the people did come in through Mexico because there were Chinese people who flew to Mexico and then come up the border. I was like, get out of town.
You want to know something? They're not looking for them because if they were, you know what they would do? If I was on their bullshit, I would send ICE right down into the middle of Flushing, Queens. I'd send them right smack dab in the middle. Now, I don't know if any of you know about Flushing, Queens, but I used to go to high school Flushing back in the day when the signs were in English. When you go to Flushing now, damn near every sign is in Chinese. And when you walk down there, you hardly don't see anybody that you would call an original American.
or Japanese or Korean or something like that.
Everything down there is Asian. The entire thing. So if they were really about that life and trying to get something, it wouldn't just be outside the court here in Los Angeles and other. They would send a giant contingent right down into the heart of Flushing, Queens. I guarantee you, they would get a whole bunch of folk down there that ain't supposed to be here, or what they consider not supposed to be here. But it's not about that. The boogeyman right now are Mexican people, the Hispanic people, El Salvadorians, those people like those. That's
South American and south of the U.S. Yeah,
right. That's the boogeyman right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's to make a group of people say, oh yeah, so you can have the other. You always got to have, in any situation, like even in religion, you always got to have a good guy and a bad guy. You got God, you got the devil. You got people who they say are actually Americans, and you got the illegal aliens. You always got to have a boogeyman. They the boogeyman, right? It's just the way they're doing shit. I have absolutely, positively no problem with them going and get guys who are criminals. None. If they're criminal and they doing shit they're not supposed to, fine. But they're deporting people who are not criminals. And not to mention, there's a certain number of Americans that they have deported. They're taking people and putting them in there and not taking their IDs. It's bullshit. That's my thing, man. It's like, there's no rule of law with them. That's right, divide and conquer, Chris. There's no rule of anything there. And I know a lot of times the law is bullshit anyway. But that's how they're going about doing it. This has nothing to do with trying to make things safer for the American people. This is about making this nation into something that they want it to be. It has nothing else to do with that. If they can find a way to get rid of us black folks, they'll try to find it. The fact of the matter is that we locked in here. And this ain't like the 30s and the 40s. That's why them guys be going into the neighborhoods right here in Cincinnati, right here up the road, they're going to be neo-Nazis. And them black folks got together and ran them the fuck up out of it. This ain't the 30s.
42 million people.
That's right. Not to mention some people's sensibilities. That's why I say I can't say that all white folks is bad. I can't.
That's right.
You got some who are allies who down for like, nah, man, this shit is wrong. Even back in the day, like you had the Quakers. Them cats, they were like abolitionists because they didn't believe in that. They were like, no, we all God's people. We can't do that. You can't be treating these people this way. There's always that contingent.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope they like the Hunger Games, Chris. I hope if they are, I hope the odds are forever in our favor.
Right. Hey, I want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
You ever heard of this thing called a waist fan?
The waistband?
A waist fan.
Waist fan? No, what's that?
This right here is a fan. Oh, let me do it like that. This right here is a fan, and what you do is you put this part on your belt, and then the other side you take your shirt and you put your shirt right there. Uh-huh. And what it does is it's got a fan piece right there, and it blows air inside of your shirt.
I ain't never heard of that.
This thing is amazing.
The waist fan, okay.
A waist fan. It's literally amazing. And the thing is I mean, this one here has got all kinds of stuff in it, but it's got a fan. You got 5 speeds in the fan, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's the fan right there. It's blowing right now.
GBG, what up? I hear that.
See, and that thing, man, I tell you what, you can be sitting across the room and feel that air coming off of that thing. That's it. To me, it's amazing.
I'm gonna look at that waistband.
And then it's got a light on it too. It's got a flashlight on it, and then it's got like
get it from Amazon.
Yeah. Then it's got this little flashing thing on there, man. It's wild.
That's if you're in trouble and you're somewhere you need to signal somebody.
That's right. Yeah. If you set that on top of your car or something, if you broke down or something somewhere, yeah, it's got multiple uses, man.
You said all the Japanese street workers have those. What up, Norwood?
And the other thing too is it can charge your cell phone too.
Okay, I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah. It's got 2 USBs right there, USB-C and USB-A, and it can charge your cell phone. Okay. It's amazing. I got off Amazon. It's kind of rubberized and stuff. It's like $20, $30.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it tonight. I'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna send you a picture, maybe I'm gonna get it.
it would make my belly go flapping in the wind. No, what you do is you put it on your side, just like you're wearing something.
Uh,
Yeah, and then after that, there you go. It just blows the air underneath your shirt.
he's when he said street work, he mean like construction. He wasn't talking about street work. I was thinking something else.
Oh man, but this thing is amazing. This thing is amazing.
Check that out.
Anyways, but yeah, man. So I understand where you're coming from with your politics and stuff, but I think one of the things that happens is that we've got to figure out what's really important for us, because for a lot of us right now, what we really need to try to do is to try to get control of our own economical, the economics within our own house and stuff, because right now I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of us who are having problems with either job loss, inflation, can't buy a house, you're upside down in your car, you're not, you're sitting there waiting for your student loans to get forgiven. And then you're 50, 60 years old, and then you're trying to think about what have I got saved up for retirement and all that other stuff. And so to me, all that stuff going on, all this immigration stuff, I'm not saying it sounds like it's white noise, but the thing is that from a priority standpoint, I'm looking at a lot of those other things first.
I mean, and that's the thing. I look at those. I look at those things that you're talking about. I look at those things first too. Those are the things that are close to home. I pay attention to those things. You make sure you're saving. I'm saving for retirement. I know you're gonna be able to work forever. Me and my wife, we're doing all that stuff. That's stuff that we do and we pay attention to. But it's just the stuff that they put in the forefront when I see that, because I understand that personal stuff affects me. But for some reason, the broader part of society, of the broader community, I think about it. Even when I try not to. I don't know what that is. Right. Maybe it's me being part of the social contract of this country or whatever. Maybe it's just me. But I think about that. What up, Peanut? What's going on?
That's right. And Christopher Lewis hit the nail on the head as well. Start teaching stock market investment.
Yes.
That's what I do all the time.
That's important.
All day, almost every day. I'm not a day trader, but I'm watching all the financial news.
Life insurance too. Christopher Lewis, my father been teaching me, man, listen, my father is a life insurance guy. He's been teaching me that forever. Since I was a kid, he always talking about that. Whole life insurance.
Whole life insurance.
That's the thing with them.
Yeah.
They don't do terms, Big Zo.
Huh?
They don't believe in term life insurance.
I know, but the thing is well, I'm not gonna bash whole life insurance. I could tell you this: I've been doing investment shit for 30 years, and I don't have a pinch of whole life insurance.
You just like term insurance?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, because what happens is with whole life insurance, it's got an investment component, and then it's actually got an insurance component, right? So then the insurance component ain't really worth nothing because the death benefit is really, really low, and then the investment part is basically tied up in other people's commissions. So these are other people making money off of your money. And and so what happens is I'm not saying whole life is a big pyramid scheme, but what I'm saying is that if you separated the two and learn how to use the two to leverage the way you need to do things, then from there you're gonna be a lot better off.
Okay.
Yeah, because what happens is that it is possible for you to have a brokerage account that earns between 30 to 50% per year return on your investment. That is possible.
Right.
Okay. And the thing is that that's not hard to do. That's really not hard to do. I'm being 100% honest with you.
Just gotta pay close attention to it.
Just pay close attention to the markets and everything else, and then after that, you can look at the S&P 500 and everything else, man. Let me tell you something, man. There's so many things that goes on, and then they got that one dude on CNBC, Jim Cramer, right? Mad Money. Everybody should watch Mad Money. right? Just watch it to the first commercial break. It comes on at 6:00 p.m. Eastern on CNBC every
I,
day of the week.
I know about Jim Cramer. I watch him from time to time. I don't always watch him. I know who he is. He always
That's
streaming a lot. He be pressing buzzers and all type of stuff. I know him.
That's right. That's right. And Christopher Lewis, let me ask you a question, sir. It's really good what you talk about ETFs. What's the difference between an ETF and a mutual fund? Somebody tell me that in the chat.
Yeah, somebody tell me.
Yeah. Can somebody tell me what the difference between an ETF and a mutual fund is? Dennis Dix asked me, "Do I do options?" No, I don't do options. I don't do margin trading. I just buy straight up.
Okay.
I've never done options and stuff. I believe in compounding over the long haul. Anyways, all right. So the big difference between an ETF and a mutual fund is that an ETF is a combination of whatever it happens to be. It could be bonds, it could be stocks, it could be gold, it could be crypto, it could be whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is ETFs and mutual funds, they both can have the same types of investment vehicles within there, whether it's stocks, mutual funds, crypto, whatever. ETF, mutual funds, same thing, same amount of assets. The big difference between an ETF and a mutual fund is an ETF is priced throughout the day, whereas a mutual fund is priced after the markets close, usually after 6:00 p.m. So that's the big difference.
So what's better, the one that updates all the time?
It really depends, because an ETF, what happens is sometimes an ETF they're having to estimate how much the ETF is worth because they gotta refresh it every 30 seconds, let's say.
Right.
And what happens is usually with an ETF, a human can't refresh it and do what needs to be done as much as a mutual fund can do.
Okay.
So it's a computer that's actually computing the value of an ETF throughout the day. But it can be humans that actually compute how much a mutual fund is actually worth at the end of the day. So I mean, you can own ETFs, you can own mutual funds, but understand that whenever you place an order to buy an ETF, you're going to buy it right then, right there. 20, 30 seconds, it's going to be filled. Right. Okay. It's during the trading day between 9:30 a.m. and 4:00 p.m. Eastern time. Mm. But what happens is if you place an order for a mutual fund, then it doesn't get filled until the end of the closing day after the mutual fund has determined how much it's going up or how much it's going down. And then after that, your order gets filled then.
So you technically end up getting the best price, maybe?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Okay.
It really depends. I mean, I can't say one's better than the other, to be honest with you, because I own enough of both, right?
Okay.
I own enough of both, and then I own enough of individual stocks too. So who knows? But what I'm saying is that make sure everybody should get some education on how it works, how you can buy, how you can do all these other things. That's one of the things. And it doesn't matter where you get the education from. There's YouTube videos, there's Google, there's ChatGPT, there's any number of things that you can find out there that talks about that, right? And I mean, there's YouTube as well. Some of the stuff on YouTube, some of it may be really, really good for you. And it just depends upon who you want to do business with. Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, doesn't matter. Find one, pick one. Robinhood, E-Trade. I mean, Robinhood
is good because right now most of my stuff is with Fidelity, but I do have a little bit with Robinhood because they got an app and everything. So that's how I ended up dealing with them.
What with Fidelity?
Robinhood.
Oh, Robinhood. Yeah, and the thing is I had Robinhood as well. I don't have any more Robinhood.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't deal with Robinhood.
You just don't like it?
No, I never really cared for it. But Robinhood kind of has an angle more for crypto, it seems like. But yeah, so but the thing is that regardless of what it is, figure out a way to do some investing. for yourself. And the thing is I'm not going to say invest in this company, invest in that company. What I'm saying is do your own research, find some companies because regardless of how good somebody is, whether it's Jim Cramer or anybody else, nobody has a crystal ball to determine how much a stock is going to sell for on Monday morning.
Right.
Nobody. Okay.
Right.
Everybody can say, well, okay, the P to E ratio is this, they're reporting earnings and and they paid this dividend and so forth. And so, I mean, yeah, okay, you could do all those other things, but regardless of what you have to say, you can't predict what it's going to trade at 9:31 on Monday morning.
Yeah, nobody knows that.
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows the future. So, but anyways, but the thing is I will say that stocks have done really, really good. Find you some good companies. Don't mess around with too many IPOs. I will say that much. Don't mess around with IPOs that much.
Okay.
Because IPOs will burn you every time. Unless you've got like $100 million and you can put a certain amount, you know, because they had one IPO that came out this week called Bullish. Right, and this is kind of more of a crypto play. So the stock got valued. It IPO'd at like $30-something a share, but then what happened was whenever it went public at like 1 o'clock, I believe it was on Thursday or something, it was at like $101 a share. So what happens is if those people who worked at the company for Bullish or the people who worked at the exchange that was sponsoring the IPO, they were able to get that stock at $30 a share, and then they sold it at $100 a share.
They made a lot of money.
They made a shitload of money, and the thing is you had to wait until they first got started on the trading,
right?
And that's where you got stuck at because you said, well, okay, I want to buy 10 shares of Bullish. And Bullish was trading at $100 a share. And now Bullish is at like $80 a share. Now you bought at 100, now it's worth 80.
Yeah, lost money.
And you lost money. That's exactly right. And so if you can't get in at the IPO price, then from there you go. Now
I had got into it was a cannabis company that I bought into.
I know you lost your shirt.
Oh, I did, man. It ended up going belly up. I was mad. Oh God.
That's right. Now I will say I got really lucky on the IPO market whenever Planet Fitness went public, because Planet Fitness went public at like $30-something a share or something like that. And what happens is it was trading at like $35-40 a share. And then I said to myself, okay, I can see the financials of what they're doing. But then what I did was I placed an order the day after for $16 a share. Okay. And it IPO'd and it kept going down like that. And the next day my $16 hit. And I bought, I don't know, 50, 100 shares or whatever it was. And now those same shares are worth like $120.
Nice.
See, but the thing is that I wouldn't sit there trying to bet everything on IPOs.
Because and there's no way to know that. You just happen to get into something. There's no way to know. It could have went all down the drain. And
that's right. That's right.
Like a lot of people lost their share on GameStop.
That's exactly right.
Then a lot of people lost on GameStop.
That's exactly right. Well, see, GameStop is kind of a meme stock, right? And so, what's the other one? Not DoorDash, Open Door. Open Door was a meme stock that was out there as well. And so what happened is it, somebody come along and they hype it. And then from there, what happens is it was trading like $2 a share. Yeah. And then after that, somebody come along and started hyping it. And then somebody, people just started buying and buying. Next thing you know, Open Door is worth like $5. And all these people that bought it $2, whenever it went up to $5, they just dumped it right there.
Right.
And so what happens is all these people made 2.5 times their money. Mm-hmm. And the thing is I can't play that game. I quite literally just can't play that game because I'm not going to sit there on pins and needles the whole time.
There was a group on Reddit that was actually pushing the GameStop thing.
That's right. Well,
the name of it, that was the group that was bolstering it up. They were the ones shifting the value of the stock.
That's right. But the other thing too is that Reddit went public a year ago, and Reddit had a dip, and now Reddit is really coming up really strong right now. Reddit is doing really well. So is United Healthcare, because Warren Buffett bought like, was it $1.5 billion worth?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he bought like $1.5 billion worth. And so what happened was with United Healthcare, it was like 260, 270 a share or something like that. And then all of a sudden I got in at like 260, 270. I was like, okay, it's healthcare, it's seniors, right. It's all this other stuff. I was like, okay. So then I bought a little bit, and then I did that. It kept going down. And then next thing you know, I bought my last little bit at like 240. Mm. And then after that, I was like, okay, if this gets down to 240, I'm gonna get in and buy some more. So I bought some more at 240. Now that's up a little over 300 now.
Oh, nice.
So the thing is, I made $60 a share in right. in really like 3 days.
Well, but thanks, Warren Buffett.
But the thing is that you just have to figure out. I mean, you got to do some research and everything else. And the thing is sometimes the mutual funds may be the way you need to go. AMC, yeah. So Christopher Lewis, AMC, that's another meme stock. And for me, I said to myself, everybody gets burned with these meme stocks, man, because if you don't get out at the right time, if you don't get in, if you can't somehow use a crystal ball to get in and figure out exactly who's going to try to hype everything and then determine when to get out, it's too much for me. I like to have companies that have a constant amount of progression.
Right.
And then after that, I like getting in and then just staying in and doing whatever needs to be done. Yep.
Do you think things are going to stay sort of steady, Biggs, or you think things are going to drop off?
I think the tech sector has been running things for a while, and it's really hard to say if the tech sector is going to continue running things. Palantir is Palantir is this company that has all these.
They just merged with ChatGPT, didn't they?
I don't even know about that, but the thing that happens
I think Palantir just got with ChatGPT because it made a lot of people leave ChatGPT because of that. Because from what I understand, Palantir is you can't really trust that.
Yeah, but see, the thing about Palantir was that they have a lot of government contracts, and then the other thing that's really interesting is people have asked, what does Palantir actually do? And
I don't know what they actually do.
Palantir is listening to this conversation.
And that's why people started leaving ChatGPT. That whole Palantir, they were like, no. Palantir basically is like they have too much information. It's not that they have too much information; it's what they'll do with the information.
That's right. And so
people were cutting and running from ChatGPT.
That's right. But the thing is, Palantir is more of a software company, right? So they're doing the software. But then the other thing too is NVIDIA is like the most valuable company on earth now, right? Mm-hmm. They're worth over $4 trillion, right? So
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the thing that happens is they're at like $180 a share. And then all you really got to do is just say, okay, I just want to buy, $100 a month or whatever. Maybe they'll turn into like $300, $400 something a share. Let me tell you something, man. That's all you really got to do is just go, what are the top 5 S&P 500 companies? Mm-hmm. And then just start investing in them. So then you'll get Microsoft, you'll get Meta, you'll get NVIDIA. Then you'll start seeing stuff like Palantir and everything else. And what'll happen is maybe you could look at some of those and you'll say, hey, maybe I could do some investing in some of those.
And get your hands on some shares.
Get your hands on some shares, but the thing is everyone's approach is different towards investing. Just make sure you have an approach. Do something. Most of us wind up doing nothing.
Right.
And we look up at 60 years of age and we have what? Nothing. And guess what happens what happens by then? Whenever you look in the mirror and all you have is what's on your back and what you're living in and what you're riding in, and you have nothing saved up for retirement.
Wow.
And what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and say, well, okay, I have Social Security is gonna take care of me. No.
Might not be no Social Security.
There might not be no Social Security, or if it is, they may dramatically cut the amount that the beneficiaries are going to actually make.
And that's what they're trying to do anyway.
Do it while you're young. If you have student loans, get very, very serious about paying them off. Consumer debt, credit cards, get serious about paying that off. Mm-hmm. Car payment.
Hi, Miss Velveeta.
Hey, Vita. Yeah, I mean, just get serious about all that stuff. And the other thing too is that all you really should have to do is take and figure out a way to live, where you're not living beyond your means, and just stay down for a little while. Let's say you stay down for 5 years, right? You ain't keeping up with the Joneses. You ain't got to have the big fancy house and everything else. Man, just stay down for 5 years. Stack up some money, right? Stack up a little bit of money and stuff. And then after that, turn that into some positive cash flow that you can use. Don't sit around waiting for the government to forgive your student loans.
No, hell no. At this point, Big Zo, listen, student loan is like menial. And my student loan been paid off since 2009. My wife's student loans are still paying off, and that'll be done in less than a year.
That's what I'm saying. Get serious about paying off your student loans. Don't sit there waiting for the government for 10 years and all this other. Man, don't do that shit, because you think about it, you just wasted 10 years of your life.
But because of what she does, and I didn't learn this out until later. It was at the point where I was like, I didn't even want to deal with it. There was part of it that could have been forgiven because of what she does. But by the time I learned what it was, and we learned what I was like, it didn't make no sense to go through it. I said, we almost finished with it. Just let it be done.
That's exactly right. And to me, one of the things I do is whenever I start talking to people about finance and everything else, I always tell them about my two mottos, right? These are two mottos I live by. Okay. The first motto is, when you know the truth, nobody can lie to you. Okay?
That's right.
I mean, it don't matter. Social media can say all this other stuff and all this other shit. You know what the color green looks like, and you look at your grass. If it ain't green, then there's something wrong, right?
That's right.
Okay, you were taught that when you were in second grade, third grade, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you know the truth, nobody can lie to you. Don't let nobody tell you what they consider to be their truth. Okay,
right.
Okay, you have to figure out what your own truth actually is. And then the second motto I live by is, time, once it is wasted, is lost forever.
That's a fact.
You ain't never going. I mean, if you didn't save anything in your 20s and you're 40 years old, you can't go back to 20 and get 20 more years.
That's right.
Okay. So and then after that, maybe you ran a 4 mile, a mile in 4 minutes in your 20s. Now in your 40s, I don't know.
Right.
Okay. But the thing is that just figure out a way, because when you turn 50, 60 years of age, you're gonna be trying to figure out, what are some of the things I have accumulated? What are some of the things I have? How is my relationship? You know what I mean? With my significant other, with your wife, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it happens to be. What's your relationship like with your kids, right?
That's right.
Because if the relationship ain't right, then for there that can make things very, very difficult for you. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And that's, like I'm saying, that's the first motto, right? When you know the truth, nobody can lie. I'm telling you what my truth is.
Right. Right.
And the thing is it's always incumbent upon you to figure out what your truth is. Now,
and that's the truth.
I feel as passionate about that, about those two mottos, as you do about Trump and these migrants and all this other shit, because that's what I focus on. I focus on what I can do something about for me first.
And I totally agree with that. And that's why I said my problem is to disconnect. I look at things through a lens of, because I got a young man that I'm raising, and then my grandchildren. I look at things concern me when I look at the way certain things move in the country. Right. I know they gotta move. I know they gotta move into that. And I know this generation is taught differently. It's the reason why I train Zach a certain way. I don't take a lot of these new ideas, you know. So I don't. It's almost like I feel like a Neanderthal. That's how I raised them. I raised them that way.
Right. Right.
Like I don't know no group think. You need to be able to think by yourself. I don't never believe that no man is an island. I think that's bullshit. I think every once in a while you need to be an island on your own.
That's exactly right.
You need to stand on your own. You need to be able to go against the tide. You need to be able to. You need to be able to. I don't care if a million people say have an opinion. My opinion is right. All your opinion is bullshit, and I don't care what y'all think. You need to be able to do that. You need to be able to be comfortable and stand on that like that. And they don't teach kids that nowadays.
That's exactly right.
Everything is about groupthink. Everything is about being too damn sensitive. Everybody got to have thin skin. That's what they teach kids today. One of the worst things that I ever saw, we were in school, and I'm talking to a teacher. And the teacher said to me, she was like, well, you know, I know you have homework and everything, but if it gets too hard, you know, don't push them, you know, just you know, let it, they can try it again another time. I'm like, I was sitting there, I'm like, no, ain't no way in hell. What I understand is when the going get tough, the tough get going. You don't just back down and back away from it. So when stuff gets hard, you just sort of sleep back. No, I believe if stuff get hard, if there's a wall there, if I can't climb over the wall, I'm gonna knock the motherfucker down.
That's exactly right.
But that's not how they teach kids today.
That's right. Well, the other thing too, the other thing too is social media actually rules a lot of people's brains. Yes, social media has millions of people bought and paid for.
Yes.
Okay. And the thing is these advertisers know that too. Okay. And I mean, you think about it, right? You think about it in our community. You think about it. You always have that one person, right, who sits up there and they're flexing like crazy, right? They got the new car, they got all the fresh clothes and everything else. They got the fabulous house and all that. And you sit there thinking, damn, that dude has it all going on. But the reality could be is he may be broker than you are.
And you want to know something too that I think it comes with maturity, Big Zo. That you start to realize that all of that stuff is not important.
Right.
It's bullshit. The real stuff that's important ain't the fancy car, it ain't the big house.
Right.
What's important is that I can go make these withdrawals and it don't hurt me. If something comes up, I can pay for it. I ain't got to worry about it. Things like that. Things are comfortable. We eating, ain't nobody starving. That's type of. I'm learning that because you're a few years older than I am, but I'm up there in that range. So
that's exactly right. Yeah, man.
I'm learning that more and more. That stuff is more and more important. That's what I try to teach Zach too. That stuff, and that stuff is not important, man.
Right. Yeah, because I'll tell you what, though, one of the things that you have to do is you have to figure out what makes you individual, right? What makes you an individual, and what are some of the goals that you have? You can't always depend on somebody else's goals. I could teach a class on investing. I could teach a class on tax advantaged investing. Okay. And it's because I've been doing it for 30 years, right? I'm a math computer science person, right? They didn't teach us nothing about investing. Okay. And most of it was all self-taught and everything else. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know what to tell somebody, and I sure as hell don't know what stock is going to take off and go and do 100% return on the investment on Monday morning. Okay. I have no idea. Right. And the thing is I can teach people how they can figure that out for themselves.
Right.
Right. Because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't do financial advice. I don't tell people what to do. I don't tell people what to invest in. But the thing I will say is figure something out and do something.
Right.
Whereas most of us are doing nothing.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. That's the biggest problem I see, because there's just so many people that's just doing nothing. Okay. And then there's a lot of people, the only politics they know when they walk out their front door is Donald Trump.
Right.
You could have the biggest freaking racist in your city council and everything else that votes against everything that you would have stood for and could have called you all kinds of names, and you never took the time to learn who that person was, because the only person you see is Donald Trump.
It's because most people don't pay attention, and I learned that because I pay attention.
Yeah, so, but the thing is there's 15 layers of government between your front door and the president of the United States.
You should know what's going on with your city council. You should know what's going on with your school board.
99% of the people. And you know the easiest way to do that is anytime somebody starts bashing Trump, I ask them, what congressional district are you a part of and who represents you?
Wow.
If you don't know that, you don't know shit, because that's a person who's above city council, above your mayor, above your state senators, right? And then he has a district that goes and directly reports, right? It's one of the 435 congressmen. If you don't know which one of those 435 congressmen and what your congressional district actually is, you don't belong. Everything that you would say about Donald Trump is all bullshit, right?
That's a good analogy, man.
That's a great analogy, because if you don't know what congressional district you're in, then you don't have no idea.
And most people don't pay attention to that.
Most people don't pay no attention to that. And I will say that 99% of the people that bitch and moan about Donald Trump that look like us don't know what congressional district they actually belong to.
Why do you think that is, Big Zo?
Because it's see, what happens is they've all been brainwashed, right? Mm-hmm. You watch the news and everything else, everybody's talking about what Trump is doing and how all this other stuff is going on. They've all been brainwashed. Everybody's been brainwashed to do all these other things. But then there's a mayoral race and everything else. And there's all these other things that happens. And then after that, what happens? What do we do? A lot of times what we do is we say, hey, I don't want to show no ID whenever I vote, right? Because then I may have a warrant or something, or I didn't pay no traffic ticket. So what am I going to do? I'm going to not vote.
Right. Which I think that's silly.
That is silly, but you'd be surprised. We will go and do almost anything. We will buy anything. Right? We'll buy anything. I mean, it could be a Dodge Charger, right? It could be a Dodge Charger sitting on the lot and everything else is brand new, $60,000, whatever. You know that you just had a repossession and everything else. You know they're going to hit you with an 18% car rate. And then after that, you know that, okay, well, if I can get this with zero down and I can get it financed for 72 months, then I'll have a payment of about $1,200. I think I can swing that. And then what do you do? You buy that car for $1,200 a month for 6 years, right? Because you want to have a new ride. And then a week later, a month later, they go up on your rent by $200, and you can't make that up.
That's right, BTG. Joe Madison, all politics is local. It's funny because that's one thing because I saw my pops buy a brand new car once. And I never understood why he never would buy another one. He did it once and he never did it again. Every other time, he always bought a used car. And I never understood it. Because they couldn't afford it.
Dave Ramsey said this, okay? Dave Ramsey said, you are not allowed to buy a new car unless you have $250,000 or more in personal investable wealth. We're talking investable wealth.
Right.
250,000. You know why he said that?
Why?
It's because if you have 250,000 of investable wealth, you ain't buying no damn new car. Because how did you get to 250,000?
Because you wasn't buying new cars.
Because you wasn't buying new cars.
What up, Jay?
Yeah.
There's two J's in here. J000, what up? And Jay the Budget Gun Buy, what up, y'all?
But anyways, so like I'm saying, man, anytime.
Right now, I think right now you need more than 250,000. You probably need $1 million.
All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is figure out a way to do it, because you're not gonna make it if you're trying to save the money in your bank account.
Oh hell no.
Okay, because if you do that, then from there, how much interest are they going to pay you? Let's say you had 20,000 in your bank account. How much interest you got to earn in a year?
Not a lot.
$1, maybe $2.
They're not giving you nothing.
They ain't giving you shit. And imagine if that $20,000 just sat in your account for the next 5 years. What's going to happen to it?
The key is to live like no other for a short period of time, so that you can live like no other for the rest of your life. That makes sense. That's
exactly right. Well, no. Okay. Back to the thing.
What's that 5 years you're talking about?
Answer this question. Answer this question, Zach. And I know you know this answer right here. Okay. If I had $20,000 in my savings account and I left it in there for 5 years, okay, what's the worst thing that'll happen to that $20,000?
You said the worst thing that'll happen to it is that it'll just sit there and won't accrue anything.
It won't accrue. Well, okay. Let's say it accrued $10 a year in interest. Okay,
that's not nothing.
That's not nothing. But after 5 years, what have you got?
That ain't making me do math.
No. See. This was a question. This was a question that was asked to Kamala Harris whenever she was running for office. Mm-hmm. And what happens is Kamala Harris, she had kind of the same answer right there. Kamala Harris just proved that she didn't understand how inflation actually worked.
Right.
Because $20,000 can't get you in 5 years. $20,000 can't buy what $20,000 can today. That's the point. Because inflation.
I get that. That's a little, could be a little tricky. But she should have known the answer to that.
She didn't know the answer. But wait. I mean. No shade on her, right? No shade on her because she's always worked in the public sector and everything else. Her and that other guy, Tim Wall, Tim come along there and said he didn't own one share of stock. And the reason for that is because they've all been living on the public dime for all of their lives.
Wow.
For most of their adult lives. And then Kamala's husband was the person, Doug was the person that was actually doing all of their finances and everything else. And he was making all the money. Mm-hmm. And Kamala was just kind of making her DA salary and her senator salary and all the other shit. And that was really about it. So basically she was just dropping her little stuff in the bucket.
Okay.
But Tim, he was the governor of an entire state. So what happened was he actually sold his house. Whenever he became the governor, he moved into the governor's mansion.
Oh, so he really been living up to government business.
He said he doesn't own one share of stock. I've been on a stock since I was 20 years old. I don't know how you do that. How the hell do you do that?
They said we put $1,300 in a 401k at 25 years and 75,000 at 55. No, that's not a lot.
That's really not a lot. But the thing is that with no risk there's a limited amount of reward. But
one of the first things that my brother, who is the biggest risk taker that I know, he believes in taking chances. Failure is not a thing to him. Failure to him is a lesson. I've seen him go down many times. He always come right back up. He's like a real hustler, and you would never know it. I think you might have met my brother, Biggs. I'm not sure if you met
Yes,
my
I
brother.
did.
Not my older brother, my other brother.
Oh, okay.
My other brother, Troy. I don't know if you met him or not.
No, I didn't meet him.
That's how he is. One of the first things he ever told me when we started talking about anything is he always told me, nothing venture, nothing gain.
That's exactly right.
You gotta take a risk. And that's how he lives by that motto. He'll start businesses, he'll go away, and he'll start another business, he'll sell it, and move on and do something else. He's just that type of person.
That's exactly right.
I always wish that I got that from him, but he's just like that, and that's what he does.
That's exactly right. And the thing is that there's lots of other things that people can do. You don't have to invest in stocks or whatever. Let's say you decide you want to do something with real estate, right? You want to buy houses and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You want to buy houses, you want to run businesses, you want to do all kinds, you want to be a general contractor. I mean, you think about it, man. I've never seen, I personally have never heard of an electrician who's a certified electrician going out of business. I've never heard of one go out of business.
That's the thing that, like, because Mr. Dixon, appreciate you, man.
You got to do your
shoulders. Appreciate you. So because my wife, so she did all of the college and everything and had her master's and all that. That's the thing with her. So that's kind of like what she wants for Little Zach. I honestly don't want that for him.
Man, let me tell you. Hey.
And be a carpenter, a plumber, electrician, something like that. I want him to do a trade. I don't really want him to go anywhere and get like a degree. That's just me. I want him to go learn, be a mechanic, learn how to fix some shit. I don't know, work on ACs out, but something to where you don't have to have a job. So where you always are a job. If
that's
things
exactly
happen,
right.
For a company, I can go, oh, you having this problem? I can do this for you. I'm charge this amount or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So you can always have something and not worry about somebody employing you.
That's right.
I didn't think like that for myself, because if I did, I would have did stuff different.
That's right. Now, Zach, I will tell you one thing, and I'll give you the game on this one here, because I read this somewheres. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There. You would never guess what the number one trade that is passed from father to son actually is. The number one trade. If the father does it, the son ends up doing it, and they make tons of money. It's the number one trade that's passed from father to son. Guess what it is?
I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking mechanic.
Nope. It's close. It's a trade, but it's close. It's an elevator mechanic.
Really?
Elevator maintenance, elevator construction, elevator inspections. Yes, that's the number one trade that's passed down from father to son. And I think what happens is the father either goes to school and gets his trade credentials and stuff, and he starts working, and then he'll have a son, and the son is 10 years old, and he'll bring the son along with him while he's working on elevators.
Right.
And then the son starts learning how all the shit that the father is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the number one trade that's passed from father to son.
Oh, elevator mechanic.
Elevator mechanic. And see, elevator mechanic and elevator maintenance. You think about it. Every time there's an elevator anywhere in this country, it has to get inspected at least once a year.
Yeah.
How many? I don't want to say. I don't know if there's millions of elevators in this country, right?
Probably.
Or a few 100,000. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you something, Big Zo. I don't know anybody that's an elevator mechanic. I don't know one person when I think about it, I don't know anybody that's an elevator mechanic. Not one.
But I'll be willing to bet you, if you ever met one, and you met his son, he's an elevator mechanic as well.
Wow. That's right, Charles. That's specialized.
That's a specialized trade. And the other thing too is you get good union wages and you make good money and you travel all over this country. I tried to turn some of my family members onto that.
That was a big thing in one of the big things in New York for a long time, especially when I was coming up, was people were always trying to become like a boiler mechanic. Because if you became a boiler guy, you could they would go and work for the Board of Ed. Because the Board of Ed always had those old school boilers. And they were specialized. Guys would be able to go and those guys made a lot of money, man.
Hey, yeah. Look at BTG's comment. Hey, BTG. I will say that pimping ain't easy. I ain't never no pimp, but pimping ain't easy from what I've heard.
Listen, one of them supposed to be one of the greatest pimps ever to live in San Francisco was Fillmore Slim.
That's right.
Fillmore Slim said that pussy gonna sell when cotton and corn won't. That was what he said. And he ain't lying either. It's true. He ain't lying.
Fillmore Slim, Kenny Red, all of them boys.
That's right.
Yeah,
Mr. White Folks. I don't know if y'all know who Mr. White Folks is.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I I don't know. But I assume pimping is Iceberg Slim, all of these guys and stuff. Yep. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Being a pimping ain't easy now. Good gosh, boy.
That's called human trafficking.
That's right. Well, you know the other thing too is some people may say that pimping is a trade, but
right. I mean, listen, everybody can't do it.
It's a skilled trade.
Yeah, everybody can't do it.
You gotta do some trading, and so you gotta get that hand right.
It's all different types. Big stuff say you gotta do some gorilla pimping.
That's right, boy. You gotta get that pimp hand. You gotta have a strong pimp hand.
Big stuff, we gonna get canceled.
Boy, this is going off the rails in a hurry.
Yo, man, that's a reality of life. I don't even want to get into that.
You got that right.
If I start talking about my views on that, I'm like, what? I don't believe in human trafficking, but I do believe in a woman's autonomy to do what she want to do with herself.
You got that right.
That's a whole other story.
That's a whole nother story. And then after that, hey, men are willing to pay for it, right?
Exactly.
Men are willing to pay for it. Oh my gosh.
I've heard some guy say, "You think if I didn't have one, I wouldn't be out there?" I've heard guys say that.
Oh man. That's right. And then one of my boys, he kind of like hanging out with some of the ladies of the night and stuff. And he said, "You know what, Zoe? What you're really doing is you're kind of paying them to leave."
Exactly. That's what it is.
Like, damn.
But it's true. I've heard that said many a times. You pay them to leave.
You paying them to leave.
I've heard that said a lot.
That is so transactional. No. Okay, don't engage in that. That's racketeering. That's human trafficking and everything else. Okay?
Right. Don't get involved in that.
That's right. Don't get involved in that. That's not a good trade to get involved in. Okay.
Right. Yep. Do that.
Because didn't they have female pimps? Ain't it?
Yeah, they do.
They got female pimps. I'm like, wow.
I'll be glad when they start putting it in a can.
Yeah, you can start canning some pimp juice.
But not just because here's the thing. Depending on the part of the country you is, the guy passed away a few years ago. But the first time I ever heard about the Midnight Bunny Ranch was the cat in Vegas who had his brothel out right outside of Vegas.
That's right.
And he was making big money on it. And
That's right.
It was totally legal. And he was making money having girls come from all over the country and doing their thing there, whatever. There was a whole series about the guy on HBO.
That's exactly right. Yep.
That's why I say I'm funny with that, because if a lady chooses to do that and she ain't got nobody beating on her and all that other stuff, and that's what she do, that's on her.
That's like trying to give me a P320.
That was the Mustang Bunny Ranch, BTG. I know that because that guy was always so happy. I don't know how many girls he had. He had the woman that I'm gonna call his bottom bitch, who ran all the girls.
That's right. That guy's name was Dennis Hoff, I think it was.
Yep. And Dennis Hoff passed away a few years ago.
That's exactly right.
Because he said that he loved what he was doing, and he hoped that he passed away. And at the time, he said he hoped he was in a good piece of pussy. That's what he said. He said that's what he hoped. That's how he wanted to die.
That's not me.
I gotta respect that man. That's what he said he wanted to do.
That's like giving me a P320. No, thank you. No thanks.
That's the oldest profession in the world, man.
Oh yeah. It's been around since the beginning of time.
Yep.
Anyways, but hey, like I'm saying though, as far as where things are in your life and stuff, you got to think about some retirement and everything else. And if you don't think about it, then from there, what's going to happen is time is going to come and grab you. It's going to come and grab a hold of you, even though you're not ready for it, right?
Yeah, because you wake up and you're like, damn, I'm 50 now.
I'm 50 years of age.
I was talking with somebody about that the other day. You don't pay attention to it. I don't think you do. And all of a sudden, you look at my brother, he's a year older than you, Big Zo. He just turned 60. My brother that you know, he just turned 60. And that's the thing. He looked at me and he asked me. He was like, "What you doing turning 50?" That's because he's my older brother. That's because I thought the same thing. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
That's right.
I'm happy I made it because I know there's a lot of people that I know that
didn't make it. Yeah, but the thing is you got to ask yourself, what is your retirement going to be looking like when you turn 50, 60 years of age? And it really depends upon some of the things that you've done in your 20s and your 30s. And you can make it easy on yourself by saving a small amount in your 20s and 30s.
Right.
And then you could just kind of coast into your 50s and 60s.
I got hip to that in my 30s. I wish I had got hip to it in my 20s. I got hip to it in my 30s. I got hip to it more so after I got married than before.
I got hip to it when I was like 22.
Yeah, I didn't.
When I got my first job out of college, I got my first couple of paychecks. One of the engineers that worked in the department I was in come along and said, "Hey, you can go buy you a new car, get you a new apartment, and all this other stuff, or you can start investing some for the future." Right. I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay, well, let me see about that." And next thing you know, man, I started doing that, and I started plugging around with that, and then I started seeing where some of these stocks would start going up and everything else, man. Then after that, what I started doing is I started buying stocks at $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I was using what's called dollar cost averaging, right? Okay. I would use dollar cost averaging, $50 a month, regardless of what. And then you just kind of put that into your budget, and then it just goes in there and it just buys that stock. And I did that for like 20 years or whatever, individual stocks. Sometimes I'll find one. I'll say, I like this stock better than that one. Yeah. I'll stop putting money in this one, but I'll leave the shares there, and then I'll start buying more of another one. Man, let me tell you something. Will totally change the way you look at money. Totally change the way you look at money.
Yeah, but man, it's good people like you around.
I'm trying to talk to every 20 to 30-year-old person I can about doing some of this. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in because I don't have a magic wand. I can't tell you what's going to do good for you. I can't tell you what's not going to do good for you. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to tell you to get something done and to do something. All right. As opposed to sitting there and doing nothing and waiting for the man to put everything down there for you.
Wait for the man.
Because let me tell you something, man. The man ain't going to give you no money and make you rich. The man ain't going to make you rich. Okay?
No. The man can't have you rich. He don't want you to be rich.
You're damn right. And you think about it, right? You can go out and buy Powerball because Powerball is going to be drawing in another 15 minutes, right? You can go out and buy all the Powerball tickets you want. Okay? 90% of the people who actually hit Powerball and make over $1 million, they end up broke in less than 5 years.
Wow. Because they don't know what to do with that money.
They don't know what to do with that money. Right. And then after that, they're just like, hey, forget it. So, I mean, yeah, I did it one time. And one of the things I was doing was I constructed a probability. I found the winning numbers of Powerball for the last 10 years, and I put everything into a spreadsheet. And I said to myself, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the prevalence of each time the white balls come up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I compiled all the. I went to Powerball.com and I got previous numbers, and you can go back like 5-10 years, and I put everything into a program and I ran it, and what it did was it counted every time every ball came up.
Okay.
And then I said to myself, well, okay, so this one ball came up more than every other ball has in the last 10 years.
So basically, you go down the line and you pick the ones that come up. I guess the top ones you play them, right?
That's exactly right. And so I found the first and the second ball that came up. I'll never tell anybody what the results were, okay? Because then after that, everybody's gonna be playing those two balls, right? But the thing is that sometimes you can do stuff like that and just think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, right? Because for me, I was after the non-jackpot prizes, right? Because if you have a line on the Powerball and you get the red Powerball number, that ticket is worth $2. So that's a free ticket.
Yeah, right.
Okay. But then if you got and then if you get like 3 of the white balls and the one red ball, that's like $1,000 or $10,000 or something like that.
If you can just keep hitting the smaller ones, you could amass you a nice little.
That's right. And then if you get all 5 white balls and the red ball is off, that's $1 million.
Yeah.
And if you get the red ball and 4 white balls, that's $1 million as well. Okay. So I mean, if you think about it, if I could just guess on 2 of those white balls, then after that cuts down the population.
Right. That's something. You ain't worried about getting the jackpot. If you get the jackpot, great. But
I ain't worried about getting the jackpot. But
you get $1,000, $1 million here and there.
If I can make a couple of $100 or a couple of $1,000 things, because it didn't take but a few hours to figure out which 2 balls had showed up the most.
Right. That's nice. Make you a little bag. Take that little money and invest it.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you got to think outside the box, right?
Right.
And then after that, I had one guy. I was up there talking to this one guy about how to invest, and he was asking me, he said, "What companies do you invest in?" I said, "Well, you know what? Maybe you start off with something that you use every day." Everybody, when they woke up today, they brushed their teeth, right?
Right.
What toothbrush did you use? Who makes that toothbrush?
Procter & Gamble.
Who makes the toothpaste?
Procter & Gamble.
There you go. See what I'm saying?
I get it.
Maybe you look and see exactly, who does what.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, let's say you want to stop for lunch somewhere and you ain't got but 30 minutes for lunch. Where are you going to stop at? You got McDonald's, Hardee's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, all on the same row. Which one are you going to stop at?
9 times out of 10, people go to McDonald's, haven't they?
Why not? See what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, sometimes it comes down and it's just as simple as that is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all you gotta do. And then what happens? What happens if you go to ship a package? Who are you gonna ship a package with? But besides the postal service, right?
UPS, FedEx.
See, that's what I'm saying. Right. What about them? How's their stock doing?
I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's almost like a practical decision. There's no mystery to it. It's a practical decision.
And let me tell you something, man. Once you find out, and then if you go to a sit-down restaurant or something like that, then from there you say, "What's my favorite sit-down restaurant?" That's a national chain.
Right.
It could be Outback, because that's a part of, I believe it's part of Darden or Olive Garden.
It's part of Darden.
Yeah, and so and then after that you have all these other guys too. You got Applebee's, you got Chili's. Who owns Applebee's? Who owns Chili's? What are some of those companies?
Mm-hmm. We said Charlie, no morality added, he said. Yeah. I mean, capitalism isn't about being moral anyway.
You got that right. Hey, Charles Henry, let me tell you something, man. let me tell you something. I love people. When I used to be a smoker when I was 20 years old, and I stopped smoking when I was about 23. And every time I see somebody smoking a Philip Morris cigarette, I just start smiling.
Because boys of Philip Morris. Keep buying them.
See what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, and the thing is you just got to figure out what all's going to work for you. Okay,
right.
What are some of the things that you have? If you buy tires for your car, who are you going to buy tires from?
Firestone, Michelin,
Goodyear, Yokohama,
yeah.
Right? There you go. And who owns? Are they publicly traded?
Okay, find out who owns them if they're not publicly traded.
That's exactly right. And see, if you think about it, if you own stock in Yokohama and you got Yokohama tires on your car, you're gonna be like, "Ooh, this car rides good." See what I'm saying? It's a psychological thing.
Right.
It's all psychological.
Yeah. I hope some 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds out there listening.
Uh-huh. That's exactly right.
This is a good advice and convo, but I feel like the younger and older generation should have heard this over a decade ago. That's how I know we failed our youth. We giving the game up way too late. I mean, I don't think it's ever too late unless you're dead.
That's exactly right, DM. But see, the other thing too is you can't focus on the past. Everybody that you didn't teach when they were 30, let's say you didn't teach them this in their 20s. At least teach this to them in their 30s. The other thing too that I tell people is that why don't you try to pay it forward? That's the whole thing that happens, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things is the one guy who got me started in investing. I asked him, I said, what are some of the things I can do to try to do whatever? He said, just pay it forward. Okay. Mm-hmm. Try to help other people to understand what's going on with personal finance. Right. Tell people right off the bat, don't sit there waiting on the government to pay for your student loans, right? Don't do that shit, because you think about it. Time, once it is wasted, is lost forever. That's the second motto. And if you lost 10 years worried about your student loans, you ain't gonna get that time back. It's not coming back to you.
No, it's not.
And then it's like, when you know the truth, nobody can lie to you. The government's not going to forgive your loans. Most of the people who were part of the SAFE plan and everything else under Biden, I'm not throwing shade on Biden or anybody else or whatever, but most of the people who were sitting there waiting on their loans to get forgiven, most of those people ended up owing more on their loans than what they started off with.
They had their loans in forbearance.
That's exactly right.
And now they got to start paying because all that's gone.
That's exactly, and the thing is a lot of people were still making the same money during COVID,
right?
Working from home. Okay, so then you didn't have to drive anywhere, but then you didn't have to pay on your student loans, and you didn't pay anything.
Two in Cali, what up, yo?
I'm like, oh my gosh, man! You had 5 years of forbearance and you didn't pay shit.
You should have been paying.
You should have been paying.
That was the one thing that I have to say. Well, two things during the whole COVID thing. I like the fact there wasn't nobody out but me. I did like that because I was moving around. I enjoyed that. But the fact is that you were able to save so much because you wasn't really moving around like that.
That's exactly right.
Different things. That was you could do. You were able to accrue a lot for real.
That's exactly right. And the thing that happens is that sitting there waiting for the government and trying to get on a 10-year forbearance deal and all this other stuff, because you had the student loans 5 years ago, and you had a job, right? A lot of people still had jobs, right? Mm-hmm. And then you didn't pay nothing. Now all of a sudden the interest is coming back, and now all of a sudden the economy is doing what it's doing, and there's a lot of companies laying people off.
Right.
Now what are you going to do? You had a chance to do this stuff, and now that time is gone. What are you going to do about it? Time once it is wasted is lost forever. You're not going to go back to that time whenever you had 0% interest, knowing what you know now. Because most people would have paid something if they knew what they knew now 5 years ago.
They would have paid something.
They would have paid something.
Right.
Where most people paid nothing whenever they didn't have to.
And that was the funny thing. I don't know why Big Zo during that time, we never thought to do that. We knew it had to be paid, and we just paid it. Never tried to get no forbearance, none of that. I never tried to avail myself of any of that COVID stuff. I just didn't. I just was like, this is happening in the world, but I still got to take care of what I got to take care of. So I wasn't trying to get forbearances and all that other stuff. People did that with their mortgages and all type of stuff. And a lot of people got screwed.
That's exactly right. And the thing is you can't go back in time. So now you are where you are right now. But my thing is this is that get serious about paying off your student loans and all of your consumer debts. Credit cards too. Credit cards, car payments, all that shit.
Right.
Because guess what? In another 5 years, it could be even worse.
Well, I'm working on the credit card stuff. My cars, I own them. Those are mine, and I'm not trying to get rid of them no time soon. I'm gonna ride them till they stop working. That's how I look at that. So they stop working, I'll keep riding them.
That's right. At my house, there's no shortage of 20-year-old cars.
and that's the thing. That was the thing. I've never. Because of how my dad was with the cars, my thing always was I can find me a nice used car, and I ain't got to spend a whole ton of money on it. And like my car that I drive now, I bought that.
That's what I'm saying.
And I bought it, so I ain't have no car payment.
But the thing is there's just so many of us that want to have the nice shiny new ride and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. And then the wildest shit I've seen is people who owe all this money on their student loans and everything else, and then they say, well, okay, I'm gonna just go and just kind of pretend as if it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna go ahead on and get married. I'm gonna have a baby. I'm gonna buy another car. I'm gonna do all this other shit. And that student loan is still sitting there, and that interest is still piling up. Income-driven repayment plans are the devil. They're all the devil. You know why? Because what happens is you owe $80,000 of student loans. You know that the amount of interest is more than $150.
Right.
And what happens is they say, okay, well, we're not going to put you in default. You pay us $150. But what happens is $500 to $600 is going into your interest that's there, and it's not bankruptable. Well,
that's right. That's right. You can't wipe out student debt.
That's right. You can't wipe out student. But hey, Zach, guess what, man? Guess what? That's the perfect time for an investor to come in there and say, I want shares of Discover. I want shares of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Because that is non-bankruptable, and that's money that I know I'm going to end up with.
That's right. That's whoever came up with that. Yeah, you can't wipe out student loans.
That was George Bush, the senior George Bush.
Yep. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because what happened is that way back then in the 90s, early 90s, or something like the 80s or whatever it was, people would go out and this was when they only had like $5,000 to $10,000 of student loans. People would go and they would graduate and they would file for bankruptcy, and then the loans would get discharged, and then in another 3 to 5 years they would start their whole lives over.
Okay.
And then George Bush was like, well, wait a minute, this is all federally guaranteed, and the federal government is the one getting screwed.
Right.
Now, fast forward to right now, that $1.7 trillion is the largest single line item asset of the federal government.
Wow, the student loans.
Is the balance owed on student loans, 1.7, 1.8 trillion.
Damn.
I mean, you think about it, right? You think about it. people just don't want to pay their loans and everything else, and so the government's got to do something. They got to go after garnishment. They got to do something because
they got to try to get the money some kind of way.
They got to try to get the money some kind of way. And the thing is that's why I'm telling people, just get serious about your student loans. Move on with your life, because let me tell you something, retirement is coming. And you know, man,
it's coming.
One of my homeboys, he went to school, and he didn't quite finish with the program and stuff. And what happened is he had a whole bunch of debt, and he said, I ain't paying that shit. Well, guess what? Here it is, 30 years, 40 years later, this dude still has his debt hanging over his head.
Wow.
I'm like, they're taking that out of your estate. And but you know the funniest shit is this guy's a financial planner.
I guess he wasn't always a financial planner.
I'm like, dude, come on. My thing is that you just have to figure out ways of taking and addressing the responsibilities that you have. Yeah.
Oh, you think that Mr. Dixon, think that's why college costs
This is also why college costs so much. Okay. Here's the argument about college costing so much. Okay. I will say that a Cadillac Escalade costs too much as well, right? Yeah. But the thing is, ain't none of us stupid enough to walk into a Cadillac dealership with a $20 bill and say, I want a fucking Escalade and I want it to be free. I got these $20, I want an Escalade. All right. You go to that school, you agree to pay what they're charging. Now, I will agree with Dennis is that college is too expensive, right? But the problem is they don't have any problems with getting enough students, right?
They don't.
So basically, if they were to say, okay, it's just too expensive, and all of a sudden we have a 70% reduction in applications, then from there, that college will have no other choice but to compete with other schools.
Right.
But colleges don't have that, right? Colleges are saying, oh, well, let's go in the back room here, and we want to build a new building and a new dorm and all this other shit, right? And then what are they going to do? They're going to say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to jack up our tuition and fees 20% in 5 years.
Yeah.
Boom, just to get this bond to get this new dorm built. So
right.
so some of that stuff is on autopilot, right? Because I live right here. I live like 7 miles away from Duke University, right? Anybody ever heard of Duke?
Oh yeah.
Shit. It costs like $92,000 a year to go to Duke.
Damn.
$92,000 a year in-state tuition.
That's a $400,000 education.
And I live.
You do it in 4 years.
I live 7 miles away from Duke. I'll tell you what. I mean, Duke is cool. I mean, I've gone to Duke's campus quite a few times. But
you said that's the in-state tuition, $92,000.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it, right? And then UNC, I'm like 12 miles away from UNC, right? And UNC's tuition rate is capped. It's a certain amount. In-state tuition, what they do is they cap the in-state tuition at 18% for in-state students. So there's a certain amount of eligibility they have, and they take 18% and say, this is dedicated for the students who are in state.
Okay.
Well, guess what? You got everybody and their brother is fighting for that other 82%.
Right.
And UNC can charge 2 times, 3 times as much as the in-state tuition. I mean, UNC is probably about half the price of going to Duke.
Okay.
But the thing is that UNC and out-of-state tuition is more expensive than Duke.
So I just think that there's people that are going to Duke paying using government money.
Yes.
$92,000 a year. Dang.
Yes.
I don't want to have to pay that. I don't want to have to pay that back.
And hey, and that's majoring in English literature.
That's not even majoring anything special.
That's majoring in history, English literature, philosophy, psychology, sociology, all of that.
Yeah.
400,000. Now, I mean, Duke, you haven't even started going to medical school.
That's a whole other ballgame.
That's a whole nother ballgame. So if you started off as biology, whatever, and then you got accepted to medical school and everything else, so then that'd be what, 10, 12 years. It's probably be, if you started off at Duke, you could probably get a break at about, I'd say about $1 million. Yeah, I'd say you'd owe about $1 million in student loans if you didn't pay nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want him to go to college.
Yeah, and the thing that happens is the good thing that happens is that what's the biggest single? Okay, let me ask this question, Zach. What's the biggest single expense that a doctor has to pay besides their student loans, right? What's the biggest other single expense that a doctor has to pay?
Insurance?
Malpractice insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Malpractice insurance can cost $150,000 to $200,000.
Damn.
A year. Now it's just like damn. So basically a doctor has to make $500,000, the high side of $1 million. And the thing is, they ain't got no time for no family practice type shit.
No.
You got to be a surgeon or something like that.
Yeah, if you want to make big bank. Yes.
That's right. You got to make $1 million to afford your malpractice insurance, and then start paying on your student loans. And then if you're working at a place like UNC or something like that, maybe they may do some kind of forgiveness after 10, 15 years. Who knows?
Right.
But you still, they don't play that income driven repayment bullshit.
That's like there's a lady in New York. She just did an endowment. I forget for which college it was, to where one particular program you could go there for free.
Mm-hmm.
She did it was I forget which school it was, but it was some sort of specialized program, and she did like a big endowment so you can go there for free. Now I don't know how hard it is to get into that school, and I can't remember what school it was, but it was like I think she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did, but so they can go there for free. I wonder how big that endowment was, because I think it was a prestigious school. I just don't remember which one it was.
That's right.
Talk about it.
That's right. Well, the other thing too is that see, for me, I worked at UNC for like 6 years, right?
Yeah.
I worked at UNC for 6 years, and so I mean, there's a lot of superlative about UNC because that was the first state-funded university in the United States. Everything else was private before 1789 or something like that, when UNC was first done. And so one of the things that happens is that UNC is supposed to be a state-funded school, but the thing that happens is they receive so much endowments and so much stuff from their alumni and so much stuff from the government and everything else, that the reality is the funding that UNC gets from the state of North Carolina is less than probably 7 to 8% of their total take.
So they got a real good endowment.
They have really good endowment. They have a really good relationship with the U.S. government as far as medical research and everything else, with UNC hospitals and everything else. Yes. Yep. And then it's in Chapel Hill and everything else, man. Yes.
I guess that's important.
That's all important. But the thing that happens is there's medical centers all over the United States. But the thing that happens is that if you have that kind of a relationship, the reality is that you really don't need any money from the state.
And I think it's kind of like, I forget what school it is right now that's like in pressure. And I don't know if it's Harvard. It might be Harvard. They're trying to pressure Harvard to do a few things, and Harvard is sort of like saying no, like almost like, we want your money, but we don't need your money. That's kind of how they're acting. They're acting like, yeah, we want the money, but we don't need it. So that's why you tell us to do something, we like tell you take a hike.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So
Well, thank you, 2A and Cali. That's what it was. Ruth Gottsman.
yep.
It was a $1 billion contribution to the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. You can go there for free.
That's exactly right. But you think about it though, $1 billion ain't gonna last long.
But I wonder how long it's gonna last.
Ain't no telling how long that endowment's gonna last,
Right.
But the thing that happens is that's one of those things that it depends upon need first too.
Right.
Now, having just gone through that, Zach, you haven't gone through that yet, have you? Have you gone through that with your son going to college? Any of your children?
No, my son's 13 years old.
Okay. Oh man, wait until you find this shit out. I'm not gonna tell you because I went through it in 2016 when my daughter graduated from high school. But yeah, the whole shit about scholarships and FAFSA and everything else. Anybody ever tell you about that?
No, I don't know nothing about that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Remind me, we'll talk about that whenever we come up to the Arm 6 or something.
Okay.
Because
I never even talked to my wife about it. And I would think she's something she would know about.
Oh my gosh, man, that FAFSA is the biggest crock of shit you ever saw in your life. Seriously.
Because she got a lot of her stuff like her high school that she went to was called the Lawrenceville School.
Mm-hmm.
She went there for free.
That's right.
And to go to the Lawrenceville School is it's a lot of money in New Jersey.
Well, it's not so much that
scholarship and going there for free. For college, she got a lot of scholarships for college too, but we still wasn't free.
But see, the thing that happens with scholarships, and I'll give you a little primer, is that the thing that happens with scholarships, it all depends upon how much money the parents actually make. And if you have two parents that are at home,
don't tell me that.
You can have a straight A student.
Oh.
Okay. You can have a straight A student, and you won't get shit for college. Seriously.
Tell little Zach to go be a plumber, man.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. That's exactly right. No matter what kind of academics you have, you will not get any money for college.
Damn.
Yes. I found that out for myself.
He got 2 in college now. That shit is crazy. Oh man.
Like I'm saying, if it's a single parent household, then you can do okay on scholarships.
And that's what my wife's mother at the time, it was single parenting, so that worked out for her. She ended up going to Lawrenceville and she went to Georgetown. And by the time she went to Hunter to go get her master's, she was grown by then. So that was just something she did. I think that's what I'm paying for now.
Last weekend, me and my wife celebrated 29 years of being married. Okay. There was no single parent household in my household. And what happens is on the FAFSA form, they have you messed up on the first page because they ask, what's the highest level of education for the mother? The highest level of education for the father? Are they living? The mother and father live in the same house? How many other children are college age? They'll ask all these questions and all this other shit on the first page. Then on the second page, what they'll do is they say, okay, go to your latest tax return and give us the number that's on this line.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you something, man. Once you give that answer, those answers on the first page, and then you get to that second page,
right,
and you give that number,
everything changes.
Shit, you can forget about it. And then, they'll ask you stuff like, is either the parents disabled? Is anybody blind, or stuff like that? They'll ask those kinds of questions right on the first page. But if you have two parents that are working, earning good money, and they've been to post-secondary education, some college or whatever it happens to be, then from there, and you're making good money as far as, kind of near the national average.
Oh boy.
If you
over the national average, my God.
you can forget getting any money for college.
Yeah, that boy gotta be an electrician. If you watching Lil Zach, there's a possibility you somewhere watching. Electrician, matter of fact, Daddy went an elevator mechanic, so look at me, elevator mechanic.
All I'm saying is this, man. All I'm saying is this: is that it got to the point where I filled out the FAFSA the first year, and we got nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got some merit scholarship, whatever, and then we had a little something from another organization, but it wasn't much. It wasn't enough to cover the whole thing.
Right.
The second year, we got zero. Okay. And then my student was actually doing the right thing as far as in high school, graduating, taking the difficult classes, all the other shit, right? Okay. By the time and then the second year, you got nothing, right? By the time it come to the third year, I said, I ain't filling this shit out because I know I ain't gonna get nothing.
It didn't make no sense to fill it out.
Well, guess what? Then the university came in there and said, well, you have to apply. Otherwise, we're not going to let you get housing.
What
kind of shit is that? So then I had to apply, and then I got nothing. And then I basically wasted my time. And then from there, I still paid.
Because just on the off chance you get something, they wanted something for the housing. Figured they get a piece of that. Is that what that's all about?
No, what happens is that I wanted my student to stay on campus so that it would be easier to get around and do all kinds of other shit. But then they said, hey, we're not going to let this person stay on campus because you didn't fill out your FAFSA. One had nothing to do with the other.
That's crazy, man. That's when I think about it, man. I'm like, because I know that time goes fast. The boys, he's going to be in high school shortly. And just have to start thinking about that stuff. That's why I'm telling you, man, I'm encouraging him. Listen, man, go on the train.
That's right. And okay. Here's another thing too. Here's another thing. Okay, whenever it came time for like high school and 11th, 12th grade, so James Goodnight, right? James Goodnight is like the richest person in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that he does every year is he has 50 students that he sends to college all 4 years. You can major in whatever you want to for 4 years. He requires you to keep like a 2.0, 2.5 GPA. And it's really just the scholarship. And then you had to stay in the state of North Carolina, right? You had to go to school and stay in North Carolina. Okay. And so my student applied for that, right? And then it was like a whole group of people that applied for it. And then one of the people in my students group wound up getting the scholarship, right? But that person's academics were so much worse than my students was.
How that happened?
Because of need. That's a quote unquote academic scholarship. Whenever you hear people talk about my son or my daughter went to school and they got an academic scholarship and they sit around, they be bragging about academic scholarship. It's all bullshit. Because academic scholarships are all based upon need first, then academics second.
Right.
So if you have two parents that live at home and you're making decent money, you can be the valedictorian of your school. Ask me how I know, and you won't get shit for college.
Wow.
Ask me how I know.
Because you must have a valedictorian.
I mean, I would have never believed it if someone would have told it to me.
That's crazy.
Okay. And the thing is that
why even call it an academic scholarship then?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Why call it an? But like I'm saying, Zach, you're gonna find out about this. You're gonna find, and then after that, my student had these other it was another family that went to school there, right? And then after that, the one of the parents was like a doctor, and then the other parent kind of sold insurance. Mm-hmm. And then after that, so then they had two kids, right? That were going to college. And then they were all primed and stuff, because the kids were really smart kids and everything else, right? And so they thought they were going to get all these academic scholarships. Well, they really didn't. But then guess what happens?
What?
The parents got separated.
And that helped them, huh?
That helped them. That's right, because they went with they used the income of the parent that was selling insurance.
Right.
And then miraculously, after 4 years, I'm sure they got back together.
Right. They was together that whole time.
All I'm saying is this, man. That's a whole crock of shit. That's a lot of changes to try to go through just to try to get your kids through college and everything else. Yeah, and then after that, then they had the Parent Plus loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so once you do this, right, because you and Jackie, I'm sure y'all make decent money. You and Jackie, the only thing the school's gonna say is okay, how about you and Jackie sign for this Parent Plus loan, right? And then what's going to happen is that means that you're co-signing for the loan that little Zach is going to be taking out.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. My thing is this: don't do that.
Yeah.
You know why? You know why? Because you're 50 years of age, okay? And there's lots of ways to pay for college, but there's only one way to pay for retirement.
That's right.
When you know the truth, nobody can lie to you.
That's
Everybody has to figure that out for themselves.
Trade school.
Oh, Dennis says that is bull. Okay. Maybe it's bull, but I lived it.
No, I think he's saying he's agreeing with you. That is
okay.
I think he's agreeing with you.
Right. Because I gotta say that's a whole lot of stuff that people are doing. And now there's a lot of people that are 50, 60 years of age that are paying off their Parent Plus loans. We knew a couple whereas they, the kids weren't really getting the loans and stuff. And I don't know how many kids they had, 3, 4, something like that. And so they just, they got a little bit of scholarship here and there, but then they took out Parent Plus loans. Well, they ended up owing like quite a bit in Parent Plus loans. And in some cases, it's kind of hard to get the student or the child to take over the Parent Plus loans. But remember, that's 4 or 5 years that you ain't saving for your retirement.
Right.
And then that could be 5 to 10 years after they graduate, whereas you're trying to struggle and make the payments.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And then you're thinking of, well, okay, let's see if we can get some forgiveness and all this other shit.
And by the time he gets to college,
you'll be 55.
Yeah.
No, you'll be almost 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm saying is this, all right? All I'm saying is I would say for your son, keep his expectations, kind of middle of the road and everything else, right? Because my student wasn't sitting around here talking about I wanted to go to Duke, right? Okay. My student decided, well, okay, I want to go to this other place, this other school. It was an in-state school. It was a fraction of the price of Duke and everything else. But the thing is it was a really, really good school, and it was the largest HBCU in the world.
Okay.
You have to tell me who that is. Anybody in the chat? What's the largest HBCU in the world? Come on.
Is it in North Carolina?
It is in North Carolina. Yes.
I don't know.
No, Hampton is in Virginia,
Virginia.
And Hampton is actually private. So yeah, Hampton's not, public. It's not a public school.
I don't know, Big Son.
There you go. BTG got it. North Carolina A&T.
I was thinking something A&T. I should have You just said what I was thinking. Damn it.
North Carolina A&T is the largest HBCU on earth.
The only school that Zach has looked at and said he wanted to go to because my goddaughter graduated from Kent State. That's the only place that, because we went up there for graduation, he said he wanted to go there. That's the only school he ever told me he wanted to go. Other than that, I ain't never heard him mention no other school.
North Carolina A&T. Yeah, and the thing is that my student wanted to go to North Carolina A&T, and I was fine with it because I looked at how much the tuition was, all the other stuff. I was like, okay, good. It's not $100,000 a year like Duke is.
Right.
Okay, so, but like I'm saying, man, I mean, you just got to have that talk with your son.
My thing that I fear is that he's gonna come to me and tell me he want to go to Ohio State.
Yeah,
at some point, he's gonna get caught up in that because of where we are, and he's gonna get caught up in that at some point.
Yeah, he's going to go to the Ohio State.
Exactly right. At some point, that's gonna come up.
That's right. And then after that, he wants to major in psychology. I don't know. I don't bash majors. Okay, I was a double major, mathematics, computer science. I don't bash other people's majors.
That's true too, Mr. Dixon. I didn't do that. I should have.
Yeah. And so, that's poor planning not to start at a 529 plan for the student at birth. That's exactly right. Yes. And the other thing too is that that's another one of the. I mean, you've heard of the triple tax advantages, right?
No.
You've never heard of investments that are triple tax advantaged? No. There's only two investments that are triple tax advantaged. One is a 529 plan. Okay. So what happens is the money goes in and it comes out of your payroll and it's actually saved and it's tax free. So the money comes out tax free. And then after that, you determine where the money goes or whatever, what it invests in and everything else. The capital gains that money makes on that is actually tax free as well. And whenever you go to pull that money out to pay for the tuition, that is tax free as well.
Really?
Yes. 529.
Well, damn.
And then the only other one that's triple tax advantage is an HSA account. Health savings account, HSA, right? So basically, when the payroll comes in, what you do is you determine exactly how much you want to go into your HSA account. Now, there's a certain amount that you can only put in there.
Right, I know that.
It's like 4,000 for individual, 7,000, 8,000. Yeah, whatever. Right. But then what happens is that with the HSA account, and that comes in tax free, right?
Yeah, it does.
And you can take that money and you can actually put that into an HSA account. And then you can use that and you can buy some mutual funds with it. And then whenever the mutual funds make money, that money is actually stays in that account.
You can use your HSA money to invest.
Triple tax incentives. Yes.
That's something I didn't know.
Yes. I can show you all of how to do that.
Because I thought that your HSA, you could only use that for health.
Medical expenses. That's exactly right. Yes. But see, here's the other thing too, Zach. Here's one of the other things you can do with the HSA account too, is you can take that money, put it into you could go to Fidelity and create an HSA brokerage account. And then you can go to your HSA provider. Let's say you have one with your employer. You can say, okay, let's say I have $10,000 in my HSA because I've been working there for a while, right? Mm-hmm. I could say I want to take $8,000 out and put into this Fidelity account. You could take that $8,000, put into mutual funds, turn it up to $9,000 in another year. And then you can say, well, okay, what I'm going to do is if I have an expenditure, what I can do, let's say I get glasses or I do, dental work or whatever, you can say, okay, I want to sell some of that investment that I have in there. And then you can tell the HSA people, I want a debit card for that, and that's an HSA debit card.
Okay.
And
Now,
then what happens is the distribution goes out tax free.
is that based on the plan that you're in? Like
No,
the rules against it? Just
no, it's the plan that every American has the ability to take advantage of.
yeah, we're gonna talk more about that. I didn't know that.
Man, let me tell you something. Because most HSAs, what do? They take the money, and the money sits right there in your account, right?
Yeah,
And what do they do with that money?
they earn interest on it.
They take your money and they do some investing with it, and all they're doing is guaranteeing that they're going to pay you that amount of money.
Right.
And
Well,
they're
they making money off your money.
And they're making 30% on your money.
I could be making money off that money.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this.
And guess what? It's all legal and it's all tax free.
And they can't tell me that I can't do it.
That's exactly right. Yes. And so what you could do is on the Fidelity side is all you got to do with Fidelity is you just send them a copy of the statement, and then you say, I want, let's say you have a statement that's got $10,000 on it, right? Mm-hmm. And you say, I want to take $8,000 out of this. And then you tell Fidelity, you send them a PDF of that statement, and then you say, I want to take $8,000 of that out, and then I want to put that into an HSA account. And then what'll happen is it'll probably take them a little while, week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever. And then all of a sudden, HSA account will get created right there. And then you'll have $8,000 in there. And then after that, what you can do is you can say, okay, I got 4 or 5 mutual funds that I want to invest in. You can put $2,000 in each mutual fund, and you can make a couple of $1,000s in another year. Yeah. Yeah, you can make $2,000. Now all of a sudden your $8,000 HSA is now $12,000, right? Because you're at $10,000 now, and you made $2,000 on top of that, and it's all tax free.
I did not know you could do that with your HSA.
You can do that. And there's people kiting on their HSA right now, all the time.
That's why I said, me, you're gonna talk. There's gonna be somebody else that's gonna be kiting on their HSA.
You know one of the other things you could do with your HSA?
Yeah, man.
But one of the other things you can do with your HSA is that one of the things that people are doing now with the HSAs is they have all this money in there, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, right? Because they know that, okay, I'm going to get old, I'm going to need Medicare, I'm going to do all this other shit at some point in time, but I'm still relatively healthy right now, but I need glasses and I need dental work, right? HSA does not have a time threshold on the amount of receipts that you can have in it. So basically, it could be 5 years ago, you got a pair of glasses and you paid $500 for that. And then what you did is you said, okay, I'm going to take that $500 and I'm going to pay for it out of a taxable account, but you keep the receipt.
Right.
All you do is just keep the receipt. You know why? Because you can use that, and then you can distribute the money off of your HSA, and that $500 can be yours tax-free 10 years later.
Man, listen.
But that's what I'm saying, man. And you think about it, right? That $500.
So that works for like any like hospital bill or anything.
Anything health related. That's right. And that's triple tax advantage.
Son of a bitch.
Come on, man. Like I'm saying, all of this shit.
I'm thinking about that because I've done some surgeries and we got some other stuff, and my wife keeps that stuff. She keeps it. Like I can go pull stuff out from when I had something done in 2010. And she's got the bills and stuff from she keeps all that stuff. Man,
so basically, and so what happens is that's money in the bank for you. that receipt is money in the bank for you, because let's say you spent $5,000 on this procedure, whatever, and you don't have $5,000 in your HSA yet. You only have 1,000 in your HSA. You can wait 3-4 years until you get $5,000 in your HSA, and you can just say, okay, I have this receipt right here, and I'm taking this $5,000 out of my HSA, and it's tax-free money that comes right to you.
I'm thinking of something specific that I paid $12,000 for. I had to pay for it. Insurance wouldn't pay for it. And I'm thinking about that now. I did not notice. Yeah, you said it didn't with FSA. Now I ain't got no FSA. You know,
yeah. Well, see, with flexible spending, you have to consume that within the course of a year, right? Mm-hmm. And so what happens is with FSA is different than HSA, right? So with FSA, you have to forecast exactly how much that's going to cost, right? Because whatever you don't use at the end of the year, it all gets donated to charity.
Yes.
But with an HSA, once you have an HSA account, you can roll it over. You can go to a different employer if they have a qualifying HSA plan. If they have a plan that is a qualifying HSA plan, high deductible plan, mm-hmm. then you can then there you go. Yes. See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. This financial shit is.
Yeah, I didn't know that about an HSA.
That's exactly right.
I never even thought to ask about it.
3 weeks ago, I had an HSA that was really, really old and stuff. And these people were sending me a statement. They were charging $1.50 paper statement bill every month. I was like, you sons of bitches.
Right.
So it's costing me $1. So it's costing me what $15 a year to keep that.
Right.
Or was it $18, whatever. Yeah. And so what happened was I was like, okay, let me roll this into my HSA. And I created an HSA account under Fidelity, and it was a qualifying HSA, and they rolled it in there 2 weeks. That was 3 weeks ago. I did that. Mm-hmm. And then the money just showed up one day, and I just started buying.
Yeah. This is something that I'm going to talk to my wife about.
But what happens is anytime you do a distribution, they're going to send you a 1099 SA, and you mm-hmm. have to stipulate. And sometimes you can use your HSA account for prescription medication or whatever it happens to be, right? Yeah. Let's say you have $50 in prescription medications every month. You can just say, okay, boom, I'm just going to put that in there, and I'm going to use my HSA card and everything else. Or what you can do is put all that money into your other HSA, leave it as a mutual fund or something. You may be able to get 25% return on your mutual fund. And at the end of the year, you could turn around and claim that. So basically what you're really doing is you're claiming the house's money.
Right.
Because that 25% is what you actually earned on that HSA, and you keep your base principal in there.
Right.
Oh yeah, man. These HSAs, it's all triple tax benefits. All right. Yeah, man. And the thing is it's just not a lot of there's not a lot of people that are using HSAs as an investment vehicle.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
See, and then you think about it, right? You think about it. It's few people that's doing it in this entire country, and it's even fewer people that even look like us, right? That even know how to do that.
Right. And I think I've never heard anybody talk. You're the first person I heard talk about that.
I might be the first person that told you about buying stuff at $50 a month too.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to somebody, I'm the first person that ever said anything to them that looks like me. $50 a month. Find you 4 or 5 good stocks, right? Come up with $200, right? $200 a month, $50 a month. I can show you how to set up recurring transactions, whereas you can buy any stock, any ETF you want, $50 a month. Use dollar cost averaging.
Well, Big Zo, me and you gonna have another conversation. After we gonna have a good conversation.
Anytime, baby. Yeah, it's like I'm saying, man. This is what I do. I'm an IT person, but I love the finance parts.
That's right, BTG. He out Black Dave Ramsey.
No. Dave Ramsey's like, he's got like properties. He's worth like 700 million, 800 million.
Oh yeah, but still, I mean, you giving knowledge. You out Black Dave Ramsey.
I ain't nowhere as close to that. Okay. I don't have no staff. I don't have no property. I don't have none of that other stuff. But the one thing I will say is that debt, you know how you said the debtor. No, I said the person who owes the money is slave to the debtor.
That's right.
Okay, and so that's the whole thing. And what you want to do is you want to get out of that debt first. Before you start trying to invest and do whatever, try to get out of debt first. Now, I got to say, most of my $50, $100 a month, I did that while I was carrying a shitload of credit card debt. I was. Right. Okay. But the thing is because I said to myself, there's no way I can cheat time. Regardless of what happens, I still can't cheat time.
Right.
Okay. No matter what. But like I'm saying, that's why I tell people, get serious about your student loans, get serious about your debts. And once you get done with a lot of those debts, man, then you can get serious about your retirement and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. This country is founded on and lives on debt. That's exactly right.
Charles Henry said, do a show on it. So this is what I'm going to do, Charles Henry. I'm going to talk with Big Zo. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to have him help me set up some things. And then we're going to talk about it. I'm dead serious. Then we're going to talk about it. Then we're
like I'm saying, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay.
I make the choices, but you can show me how to get started.
That's right. Oh, that's right. That's right. How you said it's one of those things where I show you how to load the gun, but it's up to you to shoot it.
Exactly.
I'll show anybody how to do that. I'll be honest with you.
Because I can have it's things that I don't know. I can learn from you. I can show little Zach how to do some of this stuff.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And
that's a good thing.
One of the things I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about developing a little bit of a series to try to educate us on some of this stuff. Because there's a lot of things that maybe I could sit there that I've learned over time and that I may be able to share with other people because as you can tell, I'm more than willing to share that to anybody who wants to listen. And it doesn't matter if you look like me or not. Okay. I want everybody to have a comfortable retirement. I want everybody to stay out of debt as much as you can. I want everybody to pay their student loans. Okay. And then after that, I want everybody to live below their means. I don't want people to have a $2 million house and you making $100,000 a year, and it's all you can do to keep that going and keep the property taxes and everything else. You're just too house rich.
I don't need that.
Nobody needs that, and that's the whole thing. Let me know if you want to do a show, man. But like I'm saying, though,
me and you gonna talk behind the scenes. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do some things. I appreciate you. And then what I'm going to do is we all going to come back and have a live one. We're going to talk about it.
That's exactly right. I'll show you how to do 401ks, how you can do your distribution on 401ks. I'll show you about, I can show you about capital gains tax and how to compute capital gains tax. And then after that, I can show you some of the things that you have that are tax advantage, like a Roth IRA. Because of Roth IRA, the money goes in. Everybody under the sound of my voice should be putting $7,000. If you make less than 200,000, right? If you make less than 200,000, you should be putting $7,000 into a Roth IRA. Okay. What happens is that Roth IRA, whenever you put the money in, you put the money in and it's after-tax money, right? Okay. But then the money, as it's in there, it gains tax-free. And so when you take it out, there's no more taxes to it. So
Right.
basically, you can take a Roth IRA. You can say, okay, I want to put this into 4 or 5 different mutual funds. And then once a month, I say, okay, I want to put $200 a month into there. All right. And then after that, you say, okay, this is $200 that I have. I want to put that into these 4 mutual funds. By the end of the year, you're going to have like $2,500, $3,000, whatever. And what happens is that there's certain rules on the IRA, on the Roth IRA, but all these rules, they go away if you reach 59 and a half. So basically, put it in, don't touch it. Right? Put it in, don't touch it, because this is intended for your retirement.
I got it because I started investing in a Roth probably 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I saw that the whole money after the whole tax benefit of it. I saw it. I was like, let me start putting a little bit of money inside this thing. It was available. Let me do it.
Let me tell you something, man. If you have a Roth IRA that has $100,000 in it, and you're 60 years of age, you now have $100,000 in cash.
Right, because you don't pay no taxes on it.
There's no taxes on it after you take it out after 59 and a half.
I need to bump up what I'm putting in my Roth.
That's what I'm saying, man. And see, the thing is, you can only put like $7,000 a year into a Roth if you're under 50. If you're over 50, you can put $8,000 a year in there.
Okay.
All right. But if you're over 50, you can put 8,000 into there. And then after that, what you could do is you can turn that into some mutual funds or something else. I mean, and the other thing too, I don't tell people what to invest in, right? All I'm doing is providing a method for you to take that and figure out a way to earn some tax-free money. It's all tax-free once it goes inside of your Roth.
That's right.
Right. And the thing that happens is that you incur penalties and everything else. So you just try to take it out before 59 and a half. Just don't take it out before 59 and a half and you'll be fine.
I'm not, none of that stuff is there. It's for when I hit after 59. I'm not touching that.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things that you need to do. And yeah, we can have a discussion about this if you guys want to, because I'll tell you what, man, there's a lot of things about the law and everything else, but some of it is just so straightforward. And so there are a lot of people now that have 401ks. There's a lot of people have 401ks because a 401k, what happens is it goes in and it's all tax advantage, right? But the thing that happens with 401k is that whenever you withdraw out of 401k, you have to claim that as income.
Yes, there's a 10% tax.
No, if it's after 59 and a half, there is no 10% income. There is no 10% penalty for early withdrawal. Right?
Really?
No, there isn't. After 59, after 60 years old, there is no 10% early withdrawal, but you have to pay that. That is now counted as income tax.
So it goes. So when you file your taxes,
you have to claim that as income.
Okay.
And then that's taxed at whatever the tax rate you happen to be at that point in time.
All right, Mr. Dixon, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up. But like I'm saying, man, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit I could talk about with finance. I got to be honest.
Me and you gonna talk. And
yes,
then
sir.
There's a couple things we talked about that I want to actually get set up. And I want to talk to you about it. We'll get that, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this on the live.
We can do it now. Just let me know what you want to do, baby.
It's important.
It's been a great time. But the other thing too is I'm trying to reach some of our younger people.
If I could find a way to get them in there, I would talk to them. I would love to.
Well, I am struggling.
Little Zach is gonna be in on this.
I am struggling. I am struggling to reach some of these young people, man, because you gotta do something before life starts happening to you.
Right.
Once you get out of college and stuff, man, I mean, you're used to living as a broke college student. Live as a broke college student for the next 5 years while you're making some money. That's a good thing. That's a damn good thing. And then after that, you get everything situated, get it all squared away. By the time you turn 30, you would have learned more stuff about what you need to do. Then after that, you can kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit.
Right.
You can have some kids. You can get a house. All the other stuff. Don't buy no new car. Still,
Right.
you're not allowed to buy a new car unless you have $250,000 of personal investable income.
Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna come back and bring this topic up again because I want to go do some stuff.
Yes.
So I know what I'm talking about, so we can talk about it. Big Zo know what he's talking about, but if I do it along with him and he show me, then I can talk to it a little bit better. That's my thing. We're gonna do something.
Like
Next
I
time
said,
we talk about this, I'm gonna be telling you, hey, I started this.
hey, you know what though? This would be good to go along with your weight loss journey.
It sure would. It sure would be.
Healthy mind, healthy body, baby.
That's right. Healthy pockets. I like that.
There you go.
All right, y'all. We're going to come back over this again. Like I said, next time, something's going to be in motion. And I got something specific that I want to ask you about already. We talked about it. Y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to do this again, too. Tonight, we have 4:14. Let's see where we are in 2 weeks. And we'll keep it moving.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.